Okay, if you're ready, we are live.
All right, welcome everyone to the City Council.
Whoa.
City Council meeting for Monday, June 22nd, 2026. We can have a roll call, Madam Clerk, to establish a quorum.
Mr. McClung?
I'm here.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Here.
Mr. Holyfield?
Here.
Mr. Avanzino?
Here.
Ms. Greening? Here.
I'd get a pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of the agenda as submitted, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, get a motion to approve the minutes for June 8th.
I move we approve the minutes on June 8th, 2026.
Second.
All right, Mr. Holyfield made the motion. Mr. Avanzino seconded to approve the minutes. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. All right. We have a Planning Commission with a renewal of Ansley.
Motion to reinstate Ann Salee.
Second.
I got a motion by Mr. McClung and second by Mr. Meyer to renew Ansley's position on Planning Commission. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we also have a renewal for Robert Smith in CAPC.
I move we accept Robert Schmidt's application for renewal for seat 2 on the CAPC.
Second.
All right, Mr. Holyfield made the motion to approve Robert Smith's application for renewal, and Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we do have, and in your packet, you should have we actually have a renewal for Chris Rittenhauer on the Cemetery Commission.
Mr. Mayor, since we are under a quorum right now, I would recommend and make a motion to reinstate Chris Rittenhour on the Cemetery Commission.
Second.
All right, motion made by Mr. Holyfield and second by Mr. McClung. Any comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And in your packet, we have nominations for Heather Reed and Janice Coletti also. So we can bring those up at the next meeting. Then we still have a couple of positions vacant in the Cemetery Commission and also have a position vacant in Hospital Commission and still have one in the CAPC. So if you're interested, please put your name and nominations out. And with the CAPC, you need to submit your application to the CAPC. All right. With that, we will go into our public comments. Please limit your time to 3 minutes.
First up is Josie.
Hi, everybody. When we gather like
Please state
this,
your name and address for us, please.
Josie Yerby, 32 Vaughn Street, Eureka Springs. When we gather like this, we see the diversity of our community, and this is good. We can reflect on what each of us values, our motivations, our beliefs. We have the opportunity to open our minds and hearts to other ways of perceiving, to other ways of walking in the world. I would ask each of you here tonight, what is your deepest desire for our community? As for me, I want to live peacefully in this healing place, in this place where the Spirit dwells. And I hope to open myself to those who visit in such a way that they too can feel the peace and the healing presence that is Eureka. I know that some of our council and some of those gathered have a different vision, a vision that is in contrast to what I feel we have to offer. I believe that people come here to experience the subtle and rarefied creative spirit that is the building block of our community, to experience our rampant creativity, our unique way of living, to be inspired, and perhaps to take a piece of Eureka home with them. You can go anywhere and get your buzz on, but Eureka, she is the real deal. She will change your life. She will change your heart. She will open your soul if you let her. Please let her. Love, connection, healing. I know what I choose. Eureka. There is no place like her. We are unique unto ourselves. An incomparable place where people have been drawn from time immemorial, and we're blessed beyond measure to be living here. I stand in opposition to alcohol in the proposed social district. Thank you.
Next up is Oak Rose.
Hello. I'm Oak Rose Althea, legal name Teresa Rosa Zell. I own a business at 14 Center Street and live at 132 County Road 2410. I'm addressing you today partly as a business owner and partly as a grandmother and adoptive mother of a teenager, and as a teacher of middle school and high school age students. One thing I dearly, dearly want is for Eureka to be and remain a place where they can feel safe and we can feel safe having kids of a certain age be able to watch a performance in Basin Park and go to the Daily Roast or Brews to get a treat and meet up with their parents. Now, how do I know that this proposal would take away that safety? I know because I observed it and I lived it while we were away from Eureka Springs for a while, and I owned a business and lived in the historic district of Main Street, St. Charles, Missouri. It's a beautiful place, doesn't hold a candle to Eureka, but imagine Eureka Street stretched out along the Missouri River. During ordinary times and during the genuinely safe and friendly festivals, it was a place, and is, I assume still, of socializing, enjoying the river, shopping, just gathering together in safety. No problem walking down the street at night. But there were the other events where there were alcohol vendors. There was open container and public drinking allowed. And it changed the character of that beautiful place in an incredibly negative way. Instead of a place to gather and enjoy, it became a place that many started to avoid. It did not feel safe anymore. Shop owners closed up early so they could get out of there. I started closing early so I could get out of there before all the sloshiness started of customers coming in with drinks and already inebriated. And more importantly, it didn't feel safe for children and families, women, all people to just walk down the streets and enjoy being there. And so it was like two different cities. And
The madam's 3 minutes has expired. Thank you.
you got the point. Thank you for your time.
Next is Russell Murphy.
But after Teresa, I was free. I'm going to be very brief, but
Please, address, name and address.
give me that again.
Name and address.
Russell Murphy, and to be honest, I'm retired. I don't have my address. Teresa can tell you my address. All right? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I'd like to really just get to the point, if I may. And it goes like this. I have been a teacher all my life, virtually, even as a child. When I was with my friends, and one was going to be a doctor, and one was going to be a that, and one was going to be something else, I literally, this is the God's honest truth, said, I want to serve. I probably was only between 5 and 10 years old. I am going to teach. Now, this is what I know. We don't need to somehow allow for every possible permutation of human nature. We only need to represent to every generation what it is just to be sort of a citizen. My town had a motto, and I was so proud of it. But I realized at some point in my life, probably every town does, a wonderful place to live, work, and play. It doesn't say anything about how we accomplish that, but it does say to this person when he was a child that it means to live and to work and to play. I'm leaving it at that. This is a wonderful town. I'm an outsider. I'm a Yankee. But I can say for a fact that you don't tamper with success, and success isn't just about gaining and making and everything else. It's about becoming something that is so significant. You don't want to tamper with it. It's like any living thing. I'm set for teaching for 50 minutes or 75 minutes. You don't need that. So thank you very much for allowing me to have this opportunity.
Next is Ariel Clark.
My name is Ariel Clark, and I live at 900 Pivot Rock Road and have witnessed all sorts of situations that have wanted to expand our stewardship that is available at that property. And I want these roads to continue to be welcoming and safer to this community, because For example, on May 29th, a dog had chased me down Pivot Rock Road for the third time in 2 years, and I have heard drivers tell me that it's very difficult to navigate the roads in Eureka, and I've heard pedestrians tell me that they just don't have a clue anymore if there's any safety here. But I want Eureka to continue to be a welcoming place that we can interact on a positive note and offer people the skills that we have to offer them, and use these experiences that are challenging to initiate nonviolent communication that some of my friends and I have background with, and love to introduce people to new approaches to communication. And I know that we have the money we need to create better trails for pedestrians so they can get to the places that are very welcoming to them, and that people that want to know more about Eureka Springs can continue coming down Pivot Rock in a better way, so that there's not as many surprises around the corner. We can come up with better ideas of ways to share the gifts that we have to those that want to have better memories of coming to Eureka. So it is worth talking more with each other about what is available so that there can be good results from making goodness out of all the challenges that we experience. Thank you.
My name is Kimberly Clark, and I live at 900 Pivot Rock Road. I would like to really encourage the council to adopt the 7 universal design principles, maybe even read Christopher Alexander's pattern language. Tonight, I've decided that I'm going to play you a song that when I was 10 and we were dealing with the integration issues in Little Rock, I thought, when I grow up, won't be this way. But day by day. Beautiful and new things I learned of you day by day.
Great song.
Thank you.
Great music.
Is there an individual up next, last name Schaefer?
Hello. I'm Nikki Schaefer, and I live at 5 Kings Highway. And I'm here to just speak a little bit about my town in regards to the proposed 90-day entertainment district. And that's what I'm going to speak about. I've had to prepare something because I have a lot to say, and it's hard for me to stay focused. So I'm going to go ahead and read what I wrote. I've been in Eureka Springs since 2019, and I've worked in a variety of locations from Eureka Springs all the way to Beaver Lake. I adore Eureka for its community, for its inclusion, its culture, and also its counterculture, which I very much value. Eureka has never been a town that's submitted to norms because everything from its terrain to its spirit is far, far from the standard issue. Our community members are what makes us extra special. And the most important part of moving our unique culture forward is observing each voice in our community along that path. We do not and have never conformed to a group norm, at least as far as I know. It's not about rejecting change in any way, but it's about finding Eureka's unique voice through change in a way that matches our specific shared values. There's so many reasons why I don't think it's a good idea for our town to support this kind of entertainment district. There's so many people here today who might speak to all the specific reasons why we think it is not the best idea. But one that's foremost in my mind is that it does not serve the highest good of the most people in Eureka Springs. I have yet to see a really valid reason that's presented that has purpose in supporting our community as a whole, not just one division or one section of our community. Perhaps there will be no extreme issues if we choose to have this 90-day trial that's been proposed. However, it's definitely not an effective way, in my opinion, to determine how this change will impact our community and everyone in it for the long term. It's a very narrow slice of time. It's not really about data or stepping up to follow cultural norms or increase revenue streams or getting more bodies in town. It's about addressing why this is coming up again when I really thought that we had already visited this topic. It feels like a forced, unbalanced concept on a community who's clearly trying to be heard. I hear a lot of people speaking on this right now.
The madam's 3 minutes has expired. Thank you.
I want it to stay really great.
Jane.
Well, the good news is, I'm Jane Stevens. I live at 24 Breeding Street, Eureka Springs. And the good news is I'm not going to bitch at you guys about not being ADA compliant, which we all know we aren't, not even close. What I'm going to address is for this entertainment district proposed, for people who can walk, you don't have enough restrooms. You should have restrooms accessible on each end and in the middle, as well as security. The alcoves, the stairwells, they already get urinated in. I have opened up my car door and stepped on the street in a pile of vomit. You don't want this. Bigger cities, New Orleans, Savannah, San Antonio, they have multi-million-dollar contracts to address this issue. Smaller cities like Fayetteville, the public waste takes care of it. I want you to make sure that if public waste is taking care of this proposed entertainment district, that the citizens and the non-participating vendors do not get charged sanitation, because you're going to be paying a lot more. And this has nothing to do with being handicapped. That's a whole nother issue. Thank you very much.
You'll have to forgive me. This seems like it might be a Linda McBride? Yes, absolutely.
My name is Linda McBride, 264 Spring Street, Eureka Springs. I'm here regarding the agenda item number N80B2 resolution. I ask that the city attorney publicly clarify for the entire council the ethical rules regarding any council members whose spouses are employees, any members whose spouses work as independent contractors, or any council members who themselves perform freelance contract work for business standing to benefit from this proposed district. Every member must independently evaluate their compliance before voting. Actually, I formally request that the alderperson for Ward 1, Position 1, Rochelle Moyer, rescue herself from both the discussion and the final vote on the specific resolution. A clear conflict of interest exists because her spouse serves as the general manager for the Bashan Park Hotel. Its attached commercial businesses, which sit in the heart of this district and stand to profit directly from it, creating a substantial household interest. For the integrity of this council and to preserve public trust, I ask that these ethical and legal questions be officially resolved before any discussion or vote occurs tonight on this item. If there's anyone else that sits at the council, whose partner, whose anybody works at the Basin Park, contract labor, any of that needs to be considered. You need to look at the law, and your city attorney needs to explain to you if you don't know about this, because it is a law. You cannot do it. If you are, you're opening this council up to all kinds of filings with the Arkansas Ethics Commission and a whole bunch more. So I respectfully ask that Ms. Moyer recuses herself from the conversation and from voting. Thank you.
Next is Tammy Marone.
Hi, I'm Tammy Marone, and my sister and I have Pack Rat's Paradise at 61 South Main Street. We have owned that business for the past 11 years downtown, and my parents had it for the previous 35 years before that. So we have a very vested interest in what happens here in Eureka Springs and downtown. I feel like this, I'm opposed to the entertainment district. My sister and I are both opposed, and specifically opposed to all of it. It feels like it keeps getting repackaged to become more palpable, from being permanent to temporary to tiny, from this street to this street. Well, maybe we'll make it smaller. Well, maybe, so all of it, opposed to whatever new version that comes out 2 months from now as well. We don't think it's a good idea for many, many reasons. And I really echo a lot of ones you've already heard. But specifically, it's really unnecessary. If someone wants an alcoholic beverage in downtown Eureka Springs, they can find one. To speak to the bathrooms, I agree 100%. If you're in a bar and you need to use the restroom, there's a restroom in the bar. As soon as you leave and go into the sidewalk, there isn't. And from our vantage point, we have seen people coming from other bars, because we do occasionally keep our store open to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And people do walk down to the courthouse and go down those steps and urinate down there because nothing is open. That will happen without a doubt. Having the store, I feel like even on a Saturday, people can, have their lemonades or whatever, and they're leaving them here and leaving them there. That will certainly multiply with drinks left everywhere and garbage and that sort of thing. So very specifics. I also feel like enforcement, the people that are pro are saying it's only these times of day, this location, only these people with a wristband, and I'm thinking enforcement is either going to be a nightmare for the police, or if you're going to hire people, then that's a money cost, or it's going to be a joke, because I can't imagine who can possibly enforce when a bartender sees somebody who's underage, they can choose not to serve them. But if they give them a to-go drink and they take that out to the sidewalk, no one can possibly see who that drink is going to be given to. So enforcement of the ideas make no sense to me. So overall, for many, many reasons that I haven't even touched upon, we are opposed to this in all different formats. Thank you so much.
Heather Huber.
Hi, I'm Heather Huber. I live at 21 Linwood Avenue in Eureka Springs. Closer to the microphone. My name's Heather Huber. I live at 21 Linwood in Eureka Springs, up in the Historic District. I work at Crystal Waters downtown. It is also a second-generation business. And I, of course, am here again to speak against the public drinking zoning downtown. And first, I want to say thank you for your attention. I appreciate how you look at me, how you make eye contact. You give me your full focus, usually, rather than looking at your computer, shuffling through your papers, checking your messages. Consistently, you have all done that. It is so respectful. It is so kind. It is so encouraging to us as a community that we actually listen and pay attention. Thank you for that. Because community building is hard. Growing together is hard. Knowing what the best choice for our future is hard. But today, it's not hard. Today, it's easy. It's really easy. The choice is so easy. There is no version of this project that grows, enhances, or improves our community. There's a whole bunch of Bro Nouveau who have recently moved to town, people from Portland and Dallas, people from up north, back east, people moving here from elsewhere, because it is so wonderful here. We have something special here. And then, almost inevitably, they start to change us. They start to try to change us into their old town. We don't want to be their old town. We're not New Orleans. We're not Memphis. We're not Fayetteville. We're not Little Rock. We're not that little town in Appalachia that people keep talking about. We are Eureka Springs. We don't care how they do it there. We don't want to be them. We want to be us. We don't need improvement. We like ourselves just fine the way we are. If the Bro Nouveau continue to want this so bad, Let them petition the community for a ballot measure in the fall. Let them do the hard work of gathering signatures, putting their motives in the public eye for scrutiny. Let them bear this burden. We, as Arkansans, as Americans, right now, we have some bigger political issues to address. We all know it. This ill-conceived drinking project is a distraction. It's a dilution of our energy. I'm tired. We are all so stinking tired right now. Say no and be done with it.
Carrie?
My name is Carrie Fegley, and I am the owner of Granny's Place up on 75 Spring Street. I had a bunch of stuff written. I might do a little of both, reading and talking. I am fully opposed to any version of this proposal as well. I have a lot of questions that I've had from the beginning that have remained unanswered. The ones now have already been brought up: enforcement, bathrooms, infrastructure to support this. But one of the biggest ones is for the businesses, should this proceed, that opt out. What, and I probably will read this part, what would non-participation actually mean? What responsibilities would those businesses that opt out have? What protections would we have? How would the district affect our operations? These are important details, and I don't believe that the proposal should move forward until all of the questions that have been raised have been fully and clearly answered. And I feel like I myself have raised them multiple times without any answers. I do feel like this proposed 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. open container drinking area isn't the only option for Eureka Springs to move forward and bring in new people to this area. This is a special, special place, and I have many of the same thoughts and feelings of the others that have spoken here tonight, and I will just leave it at that and say thank you for your time and attention.
Please forgive me. Channy Mayberry? Did I say that right? Hopefully. Gary, my deepest apologies. Sorry about that.
My name is Richard Mayberry. I go by Gary, by the way. I live at 21 Singleton Street here in Eureka. And I'm up here just to ask you to consider what might happen to our tourism if we go through with this and have an open carry from bar to bar or have an entertainment district. My wife and I eat out a lot, and one place that we tend to go is Murdy Mays for breakfast. In the last 2 weeks, we've been there 3 mornings, and we've had to wait for 5 busloads of tourists that are here in town staying at the Best Western. That's in 3 times of going. There's 5 busloads of people that we had to wait for. And we get to talking to them, but you know, they're on tour here from coming through Branson, Eureka, going down to Crystal Bridges, or they're here to see the Passion Play. But there's probably many more buses that come through here that I don't see. And what's going to happen to all those people if they come through here? And I mean, they spend a lot of money here. They go to our restaurants, they stay at the hotel. So I hope you'll consider that in whether you approve this or not. But I'm certainly opposed to it. We've got 2 restrooms in town. That's not enough for the amount of people. I mean, from going from bar to bar. Those restrooms are a disgrace anyway for this town. They're always filthy when I go in them. They get cleaned once a day, but that's not enough. If you get a whole bunch of drunks in here, there's going to be problems throughout the park, throughout the streets. So anyway, I'm opposed, and I hope you'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Mike Welch.
Hey, Mike Welch, 16 Kings Highway, Eureka Springs. I'm here tonight as a citizen who deeply cares about the future of Eureka Springs. I support the City Council taking an official vote on the proposed 90-day trial social district downtown. This is not a permanent change. It gives our community a chance to see firsthand how a social district works before making a long-term decision on a November ballot for a permanent entertainment district. I have worked and helped and volunteered for about 12 or 15 temporary social districts, which is basically a social district every time we have an entertainment district. I've never seen anybody in the 14 times I've done it that behaves like a lot of the speculation is here. I don't see drunks falling down when we have the anything but downtown. Anyway, that's beside the point. Eureka Springs depends on tourism. Most of our city budget comes from tourists, visitors who spend their time and money here. As the national economy tightens, we should consider reasonable opportunities to strengthen our tourism base. A temporary social district offers a low-risk, time-limited way to determine whether it could support local businesses, festivals, and downtown activity. There has been a lot of information and misinformation currently circulating online and in public discussions. The best way to cut through all that is simple transparency. Let the public see the council take a clear vote. Let the public see the social district in action. And then let the public make an informed decision on a permanent one in November. To my elder persons, I guess both of them, Ms. Gruning and Ms. Moyer, I respectfully ask that you make a motion tonight to bring this proposal for the temporary to a vote. As your constituent, I want to know where my elected officials stand. I believe many voters feel the same way. A public vote is not just about the social district, it's about trust, accountability, and open government. A 90-day trial period gives us real data, real experience, and real insight, rather than speculation. It gives voters a chance to evaluate the idea based on what happens, not speculation or rumor. That is what political transparency looks like. Thank you for your service to our community.
Mel Shipley.
Good evening. I'm Mel Shipley, number 5, Rogers Alley. I live here in Eureka Springs, have for about 30 years now. And I have spoke before about negligence and how easy it is to get sued. And we don't have real stable sidewalks out here. They lean and go all over the place. And it's very easy for even somebody that's not drinking to stay up and walking properly. But more than worried about getting sued, I'm more worried about people getting hurt. It's our responsibility to take care of people when they come to our town. And when we have a tendency to turn a blind eye to what drinking can do to people, they become unstable. And I just hate to think of somebody taking a tumble, cracking their head open, and perhaps never being the same again because we did not look ahead and take a good look at what we're offering. We need to take that very seriously. Lawsuits come and go. Money, you can usually come up with that. McDonald's found out the hard way that common sense goes a long way. And if you don't use it, it'll be used against you. The other thing that I really want to cross very quickly, if I may, is that city council members, you really need to understand, or perhaps, and I know you do understand, but We need to take care of making sure that we do not have a conflict of interest among you. We need to have transparency among you. We need people to use good common sense up here and take a look at what we're proposing to do. Honesty is the most important value that you have, and we appreciate you and your time. You guys dedicate a lot of time to this, and don't think we don't know it, and if we don't appreciate it, we do. I do support Mrs. Moyer not being able to vote on this. I do not think she should bring it up, and I don't think she should talk about it. She has a clear reason to want to see this happen. I've been married a long time, and I know I do a lot to try and make my wife happy, and I'd assume you do the same to your husband. I want to thank you for your time. I'm not going to take up any more of it, but do try to keep in mind we're responsible and we're stewards for people who come to our town. Thank you.
Cheryl Willis.
Hi, Cheryl Willis, 12 East Mountain Drive. I've worked for several years for the Willamette Valley Festival and in Kansas, and they do not allow liquor inside the gates of the festival. They allow it in the campgrounds, but there's a reason they don't allow it in the festival, because it's dangerous, because people get unruly, because they might there's children and families coming that want to enjoy the festival without the dangers associated with the alcohol being consumed right next to their child, maybe somebody getting unruly. Not that people can't be unruly, but they're limiting their constant imbibing of something that's going to cause problems. I used to own a bicycle shop and in another state, and I had a drunk person come into my shop when I was by myself, and it was very uncomfortable. I didn't have a cell phone at that time. I'm wondering, how long do I entertain this person? It would have been far worse if I'd had customers come in. I ended up making a lot of money off that guy, but I felt guilty about it because I thought, is he even going to remember where he got this bicycle in the morning? You know, I didn't want that guilt of having a drunk person make decisions financially, especially at that cost. And I was addicted to Dr. Pepper. I couldn't even have it right next to me without me wanting a drink from my husband. But it was a real problem for me because it causes my face to go numb. It's a real problem for me. And we know that there's alcoholics that every day they struggle with this. Do we really want alcohol walking around the streets enticing people who are trying to stay away from it? I have been on the river and been on hiking all day long with people, and then they get off, and I've had a problem with a woman yelling at me and throwing insults at me and trying to force me to do things because she was drunk after we got done with our river and we were staying the night. I couldn't get away from her, but I decided never to go with her again. I can't get away from them if they're on the street. I'm not going to the bars on purpose, but you're wanting them to be on the street. And that shouldn't be me having to fend them off individually. It should be the state, the city protecting me. Thank you.
Ken?
Ken Fogo, 150 North Main. It's where I live, and I have a business at the same location. ED in Eureka, a brief history. Ordinance 2292, an ordinance to authorize the creation of a permanent entertainment district with Sunset, was approved on the 10th day of February 2020 by the City Council of Eureka Springs. It was so unnatural to Eureka that a referendum was walked, easily obtained sufficient signatures within 30 days, and was referred to the people of the city to the end that that same might be approved or rejected by the voice of the voters. At the next regular general election, held on the 3rd day of November 2020, as required by law, the next general election. It was held in abeyance as lawfully required until the election. The ordinance was soundly defeated at this election. ED reared its ugly head again when City Council approved Ordinance 2357 to authorize the creation of a permanent entertainment district at Pine Mountain Village. Again, a referendum was circulated, obtained sufficient signatures to put it in abeyance until the next regular general election to be held the 3rd day of November 2026, as required by law. With the aid of the then city attorney and with complicity of the mayor and city council, a permit was issued. The mayor and every member of city council was supplied 3 attorneys general opinions along with the laws governing referendum. I handed them to each one of you. And a referendum and abeyance, specifically where they had broken their oath of office and violated the Arkansas Constitution and have thus allowed the ED to operate against the law. Y'all did it, and you're still doing it. Many of the residents do not believe the ED is a good fit for the town of Eureka Springs and feel a major change will occur if you stay on your current course. This is your legacy.
Jay Fasaro.
Good evening. My name is Jay Fusaro. I live at 21 Owen Street. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I also believe that council members that have a stake in the entertainment district should recuse themselves from voting on the issue. I'm here tonight to respectfully urge you to vote no on the entertainment district. While I understand the desire to boost local economy, I believe this ordinance carries hidden costs that far outweigh the benefits, threatening the very reason that we choose to live, raise families, and invest in this beautiful town. First, we must consider the immense strain that this will place on our public safety resources. Our police department is built for community policing, not for managing rowdy streets, public intoxication, and the inevitable fights that will arise when alcohol moves from a controlled indoor environment to out on public sidewalks. Furthermore, promoting a culture of public drinking in downtown directly increases the threat of drunk driving on our local roads, putting every resident in danger when these visitors head home. According to the Fredericksburg Police Department, they have an open container entertainment district like what we're proposing. Public intoxication and DWI offenses consistently account for 60% of the city's annual arrests. Secondly, this ordinance threatens the unique small-town character that we have. Right now, our downtown is a family-friendly space where children, parents, and elderly residents feel safe walking at any hour. Transforming these streets into an open-air bar changes that dynamic entirely. We will see a rise in litter from plastic cups, not to mention public urination, since, as we all know, we only have 2 public restrooms. Many of our family-oriented boutiques, restaurants, and retail shops that make our downtown special will be driven out and replaced by loud, night-focused venues. Finally, the district introduces significant financial burdens that the taxpayers will bear. the cost of increased police overtime, specialized sanitation crews to clean up the morning after mess, and potential municipality liability will fall squarely on the taxpayer's shoulders. If our downtown gains a reputation for being a rowdy and unsafe nighttime venue, people with residential properties nearby will inevitably face decline in values. When the entertainment district is open, we already hear drunk people yelling as they walk up Owen Street, "Where the F did I park my car?" Please preserve what makes Eureka a community rather than turning it into a party destination, and I urge you to vote no on this ordinance. Thank you.
Lisa Knapp.
I'm Lisa Knapp. I live at Holiday Island, which I have no vote here in Eureka Springs at all. I have 5 businesses downtown, that this is my livelihood, and I believe that this is not good. This is a 20-ounce cup that the proposed will be offering at 10 o'clock in the morning throughout our town. I understand the mornings of mimosas were an interest. That's why they said 10 would be good, so that they could have Sunday morning cocktails. Well, Sunday morning maybe start at 10, but every day is ridiculous. In my boutique and any of my stores, having a Hughes-ass beer first thing in the morning is really ridiculous. It's not what we want to be in Eureka Springs. I'm against it, and I thank you all for listening. We do have 16 bars downtown. That's a lot of places to drink. Also, legal counsel, when I talked to a lawyer and said, well, this is my sidewalk, they said, but yet is it the city sidewalk? What's going to happen when somebody falls? The gentleman looked up and smiled at me and said, well, any good lawyer is going to sue you both. Thank you.
Lloyd Leby.
Hi, everybody. Lloyd Libby, 26 Emporia Street. My wife and I also own Adventure Art at 128 Spring Street. The only time that I recall there being this entertainment district set up, there were boundaries on either side. Our shop sits outside of the boundary. On that specific day, our revenue was down 75%. That's a loss in tax dollars for the city. I don't know if that's important to you or not, but how about if you have somebody break an ankle on a sidewalk, which we can't afford to fix, and they sue you? Pour alcohol on that? You know, you're just asking for trouble. Bathrooms that are inoperable, not enough of them, pour alcohol on top of that, you're asking for trouble. A police force that is understaffed, pour alcohol on that, you're asking for trouble. I'm opposed to it. My wife is opposed to this ordinance. I think you should nip it in the bud and not move it forward. Don't even think about it. Have a good evening.
Christy Sutherland.
Christy Sutherland, 60 Mountain Street. I would like you to consider the following facts before approving the 90-day temporary social entertainment district. I also ask it that they may be considered in approving a permanent entertainment district. Eureka Springs is such a special town, which is why it attracts so many visitors. Events that are held on different weekends appeal to a wide variety of people. Tourists choose the weekends that they visit from the events that are going on. When there are family-friendly events, families and couples should be able to bring their children and not have to walk through an entertainment district. Instead of voting on a 90-day temporary district, I'm suggesting that you use special events that are more party-oriented, such as New Year's Eve, Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, Blues Weekend, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and get your information from that instead of 90 consecutive days. Families or couples will know that it may not be a weekend they want to visit and choose another weekend. Eureka Springs cannot be compared to Fayetteville, Rogers, Little Rock, Texarkana, or Kansas City's entertainment districts. These all have a different terrain than our downtown, which is narrow, steep, and has uneven sidewalks. If someone visits any of these other cities, they're much larger and they have other options. They can either go to an entertainment district or go to shopping centers where they can walk around and shop and dine. And if they don't want to be around open carry alcohol. In Eureka Springs, we only have one option, which is our downtown business district, where the entertainment district would also be. The businesses on Highway 62 do not have any sidewalks where they can walk parking lot to parking lot and walk and shop and dine. I have an overnight lodging on Spring Street and a residence that is a block away. Please consider that business owners, commercial business, building owners, and residents of Eureka Springs have a large percentage of their money invested in this town. When they decided to invest in the town, it was for its uniqueness and that the respect we show each other. Permanent changes to the town's atmosphere should be the residents' decision by putting it to a vote and not the city council's. What I've experienced having an overnight lodging business downtown does increase significantly during special events. Trash thrown into the flower gardens and set on our stone wall, intoxicated people walking on our stone wall, vomiting in the flower garden on the sidewalk, which I have to clean up, and the noise level increases with people walking and yelling in the street. We have had to call the police on couples that are loudly arguing in the streets and physically fighting for fear of them getting hurt. I am asking to please put this to a vote while still having maybe some special events that have entertainment districts. Thank you.
Colin Polk.
Colin Polk, 36 Dawson Road. First, I just want to call out some liars. This is a 20-ounce cup, not whatever that was. Council, you can look, it says it on the bottom. So enough lying. I'm going to read a letter from the Slains. I don't think it made it in time for the meeting. To the Mayor, Eureka Springs Council, and the citizens of Eureka Springs, we are Rodney and Autumn Slane, longtime residents and owners of multiple businesses in Eureka Springs, including Grotto Woodfire Grill, Wine Cave, and Slane's Tavern, both located in the heart of downtown. We are writing in support of the proposed downtown social district. Eureka has long celebrated its reputation as one of the most creative, independent, and progressive towns in America. That reputation looks great on a tourism brochure, but being progressive requires more than simply calling ourselves progressive. Occasionally, it requires allowing the town to actually try something new. Some opponents have warned that a social district will bring chaos and mayhem to downtown, as though the moment someone steps onto the sidewalk with an approved cup, the historic district will collapse into a scene from the Wild West. Let's take a breath. I need one. Whew. All Arkansas alcoholic beverage control laws will remain in effect. Licensed businesses will still be responsible for following every rule associated with their permits. Public intoxication will still be illegal. Underage drinking will still be illegal. Disorderly conduct will still be illegal. Our police officers will continue monitoring downtown just as they do now. The social district does not suspend the law. It simply creates a regulated way for responsible adults to carry an approved beverage within a clearly designated area. It is also worth remembering that Eureka Springs has already operated entertainment districts during outdoor events over the past several years. From what we have witnessed as downtown business operators, is these districts have been successful. The town did not descend into lawlessness. Businesses remained standing, visitors enjoyed themselves, and the sun came up the next morning. This is not an entirely foreign or untested idea. We have already seen versions of it work here. Our downtown businesses depend on tourism, foot traffic, and the overall visitor experience. Guests frequently ask whether they can take their drink with them as they continue exploring downtown. They are generally not asking for permission to cause public disturbance. They want to enjoy a drink while walking through one of the most beautiful and unique downtowns in Arkansas. Meanwhile, other communities continue adopting ideas that encourage visitors to stay longer, walk farther, and spend money with local businesses. Eureka Springs cannot afford to stand still while congratulating itself for being forward-thinking. We are quickly falling behind other tourism communities, yet we continue calling ourselves progressive. At some point, progressive must become more than a personality trait. It needs to become a willingness to consider responsible progress. Will every concern prove unfounded? Perhaps not. No initiative is perfect from day one. That is why regulations can be adjusted, boundaries can be reconsidered, hours can be changed, and enforcement can be strengthened when necessary. City ordinances are not carved into limestone walls of downtown.
The gentleman's time has expired. Thank you. Mr. Colton Scrivener.
Colton Scrivener, 38 Vaughn Street. For the past couple of months, I have served as the chair of the Chamber's Tourism Committee. When I joined the committee, I made it clear that I was not convinced that an entertainment district was a good idea, despite this being the first item on our agenda. At that time, neither the supporters nor the naysayers had offered any real data or claim for their claims, other than vague references to the success of Rogers or the debauchery of New Orleans. So I tasked our group with researching what entertainment districts look like in other towns across the country. And we found hundreds of examples of these districts that have been enacted, largely by council vote, across numerous states and all shapes and sizes of terrain and population. There were a few commonalities that popped up. First, each town had heated discussion about the topic, almost always with concerns about bathrooms, drunks, enforcement, and trash. It looked pretty much how our discussion in Eureka Springs and tonight has looked. Another common feature was a trial period for the district. But perhaps the most important commonality was the success rate. Out of hundreds of these districts, we found only one where the district had been temporarily suspended. I'd say that's a pretty remarkable success rate for a policy across such a diverse range of locations. After holding a public meeting in May about the district and discussions with Public Works and the police chief, we've decided that the best first step is to have a 90-day trial that would begin with the typical TED boundaries that this council has passed many times before and that ESPD has successfully enforced many times before. If this proves to not be an issue, we could look at expanding to our larger initially proposed map and the map that we prefer and that, at least in our discussion with community members and business owners, they seem to prefer as well. I can assure you that nobody on our committee wants Eureka to end up like New Orleans. This hasn't happened in the hundreds of other locations, and I don't see why it would happen here. I have a retail business downtown, I own a Victorian bed and breakfast downtown, I organize several festivals downtown, and I live downtown. My life would be a nightmare if Eureka experienced the issues that have been voiced tonight and have been voiced for months. In fact, if unresolvable issues like these arise, I would be the first to champion the repeal of the entertainment district. But I'm not afraid to try it, because I've done my homework, and it's revocable. So I would ask council to have the courage to try something that is easily revocable, and based on the evidence we have available, appears to be a positive policy change in many other communities. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else who did not sign up who would like to make a public comment? We'll start up here. You did sign up? Okay. We'll start with her, and then we'll work our way to the back here. Just make sure you say your name and your address.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Okay, I've been here 50 years.
Name and address.
Pardon me?
Name and address, please.
Penelope Walker, 345 Dairy Hollow Road. I've been a bartender here for 30 years. I've been retired for several years. And I've seen people fall off the stairs. I've seen them fall off the street. I've seen them do all kinds of crazy things. I just, you have to stop people from drinking. And they don't know how to do it unless you stop them and kick them out. If they go to the truck and get something, then the police can take care of it there. And I would like to really say that I'm really against this. I don't think it's the right thing to do for our city. I think that we are proactive in many ways, and we have a lot of stuff going on as it is. And I think my granddaughter lives right up Benton Street, and if somebody went up that way by accident, I'd be worried for her. She has a little boy, and I'm not happy about any of this. And also, I'm worried about the lights. There's not enough lights in the street for you to see the people. I almost hit some people a couple times, driving down from Reds and driving up from somewhere else. You can't see them. They're in the shadows. They're walking in the middle of the road. So I'm concerned there too. So I'm going to let this go, except I want to say at the top of Planter Hill, there's a light that goes on and off like crazy every night. All right, thank you.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and hop up your, yep.
I'm Matt Miller, and I live at 32 Eureka Street. I've lived in town for 25 years, and I prefer selling real estate as having to come down to the city council and discuss political issues. But this issue about the permanent entertainment district was voted down, and now a 90-day trial is being proposed. I have nothing against drinking. I do it myself. The restaurants and bars here in town are one of the reasons I prefer to live in town. I feel the 3-day events that we're currently having are enough, but the proposed 10 to 8 time frames seem pointless since there's already areas in town that people can vote out, that people can drink outside. I would rather see a 5 to 10 or a 8 to 11 with music in the park that is geared more for adults who have very few things to do in Eureka at night. I've heard a lot about the proposed entertainment district, but I haven't seen a definitive final plan. Fayetteville has a page on its website for its outdoor refreshment area, and boundaries are clearly marked. There's a list of rules and a PDF of the city ordinance establishing it. Eureka's ordinance 22083, currently on the books, has 6 pages of vague information slanted toward anyone who wants to shell out a $100 fee to file an application. There's no real explanation of rules, who's going to clean the area up or who's going to pay for it. It seems the plan to improve the new public downtown, is there a plan to improve the new public downtown bathrooms that are often inoperable? It appears the plan is to push the application through and assess the pros and cons as it goes. Last Friday, I called Lila and asked her if she was hearing some of the same complaints from buyers looking at property in town that I am, and she responded, absolutely. After our chat, I looked back on our past MLS sales, and 3 minutes won't allow me the time to go through the data. But in 2018, 134 houses in the Eureka Springs zip code sold, with 66 of those houses in town, 42%. And one lake house sold for $1 million. Now in 2025, 132 houses sold with nearly 31 houses in town, 23%, with 9 lake houses sold for over $1 million and 2 sold for over $2 million. We're halfway through 2026 and we've sold 57 houses with only 13 in town, while lake houses have sold, while 6 lake houses have sold for.
The gentleman's time has expired. Thank you. Anybody else? You're up.
Hi, I'm really nervous now. Does everybody know
Name and
me?
address.
What?
Name and address, please.
Oh, my name is Latigo Troyer. I currently live at 46 Armstrong. I have for 27 years. I've been bartending, waiting tables, cooking at pretty much every restaurant downtown for the ones that would have me. I would like to get up here and give a long speech and say a bunch of things. However, the police department, the EMS, and the fire department have all agreed to do this and take this on. Those are the 3 people that we all rely on. And if they say this is okay, then I say listen to them. Everybody else's opinion doesn't really matter because those are the 3 people we depend on every day. So, like myself, I think you should take away this speech and everything else and rely on the 3 people that we depend on. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Luna May. I have a business at 178C West Van Buren called Soul Song Sanctuary. I am all for, and I'm nervous too. I hate getting up like this, but I think as we go forward as a community and as a humanity, we have to decide what kind of imprint are we making for our future generations? Are we teaching them to be unconscious, or are we teaching them to be conscious? And I'm speaking of alcohol. Alcohol creates very unconscious people. They make bad decisions. They hurt people. Chelsea's has already had a problem with rape date, or date rape, whatever you want to call it. Conscious people make good, clear decisions. They don't drive fast. They don't hit people. They don't do those things because they're paying attention. Eureka Springs is a holistic place. It is not a playground. It is not a place to just go throw money around and be unconscious civilians teaching our little ones that it's okay to be that way. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
My name is Michael Walton. I live at 12 Washington Avenue, and as is the case, I am nervous. I have a few points. The vote that was taken in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, having spent 40 years in healthcare and dealing with the COVID crisis, was just about the time that the hysteria started. We all began shutting down. We all had frightening thoughts about what was coming. Those of us that choose to remain in the mentality of fear might have justice in thinking that way. I choose not to, again, after 40 years of experience in an acute care hospital in Houston, Texas. Second point, I think many people here are confusing drinking with drunkenness or alcoholism. I have no disrespect for people who are fighting that. It does not mean, however, that I, who have a food issue, would expect to go out to dinner with somebody and tell them not to eat. Third point, I am not here to be responsible for anybody's children or any adult who chooses to get up and drink to excess. I do not have that problem. Alcohol is not that problem. My Hendrick's Gin is not that problem. The problem is the people who abuse it. My last point, and then I'm just going to shut up and go away. I wonder how any of the people who have spoken here against this permanent entertainment district, what are their options for paying for this community to go forward? How will we afford to put new bathrooms in? Does it mean that if we put new bathrooms in, we don't have anything to complain and moan about? It's just obscene that people should take over in a hysteric manner and try to stop what would be, in my idea, a democratic process of voting this after information is gathered. Wisdom is not bemoaning how beautiful our country is and how wonderful our president is, et cetera, et cetera. Beauty is statistics. And if we gather these statistics and they suck for Eureka Springs, then we shut it down. And I also would like to ask what the people who came up here and spoke negatively about this might be. Oh, and by the way, I lived in New Orleans for a number of years, and I'm not really sure what the debauchery issue is. I lived in the 800 block of Bourbon Street.
The gentleman's time has expired. Thank you. Anybody else? I will let you take it away, Madam Clerk.
These are the letters that have been sent in for public comment. The first is from Tara Yarborough with Silver Maple Market. I'm writing to express my concerns regarding the conduct and statements of Council Member Harry Meyer during the June 8, 2026 City Council meeting. During the discussion regarding the proposed social district, Council Member Meyer made statements that I believe warrant clarification and supporting evidence. Specifically, he stated that he was waiting for someone to provide a detailed poll of downtown merchants and further commented that he had already polled them once. To my knowledge, Councilmember Meyer has never spoken with me regarding this issue, nor am I aware of similar conversations with several of my fellow downtown business owners. Given the significance of this statement, I respectfully request that Councilmember Meyer identify who was included in his poll, when it was conducted, and how the information was gathered. If elected officials are relying on community input to guide public policy, that process should be transparent and verifiable. Councilmember Meyer also referenced beer bottles found in the park following the Blues Party. His comments appeared to imply a connection between those bottles and beverages served by the Basin Park Hotel. I would appreciate clarification regarding the basis for that assertion. Was there evidence establishing a connection between the bottles found in the park and beverages served by a specific business, or was this merely speculation? I fully support efforts to protect our community, its residents, and its visitors. Maintaining the character, safety, and reputation of Eureka Springs is a responsibility shared by all of us. However, I do not believe that the broad assumptions, unsupported claims, or assigning of blame without evidence is an appropriate approach for a member of City Council. Elected officials have a responsibility to ensure that statements made during public meetings are accurate, transparent, and supported by verifiable facts. In addition, I was troubled by Councilmember Meyer's demeanor during the discussion. He appeared dismissive of viewpoints that differed from his own and unwilling to meaningfully engage with alternative perspectives. Public meetings should encourage respectful dialogue, active listening, and thoughtful consideration of differing opinions, particularly on issues that affect the broader community. Because Councilmember Meyer appeared to misrepresent my position on this issue, I would like to clearly state it for the record. I believe a social district has the potential to enhance the visitor experience in downtown Eureka Springs. At the same time, I believe any decision regarding a permanent social district should be guided by evidence rather than assumptions. I support a measured approach that includes testing the concept, collecting objective data.
3 minutes has expired. Thank you.
The next, and there are a lot, sorry. This is from Heather Wilson. Dear Council, I regret that I am unable to attend this meeting in person as I am traveling at this time. Regarding the entertainment district, I'm writing to support that I do not support it. Not because I'm opposed to change, and not because I'm anti-alcohol. In fact, I have had drinks with some of you at that table. I oppose it because no one has made a compelling case for why our town needs it. We're being told that other towns have done this successfully. That's great for those towns. But success elsewhere, and I emphasize that because she capitalized it, but success elsewhere is not evident of success here. Our town has very different resources, different infrastructure challenges, different demographics, and a very different economic reality. Most of those towns are working with budgets 10 times larger than Eureka Springs. Furthermore, a 90-day trial is unlikely to tell us much. At best, it will show what happened during those 90 days. It won't tell us whether any changes were caused by the district, by seasonal traffic, special events, tourism, or simple novelty. People like new. What happens when the newness wears away? Most importantly, the citizens have already voted on this issue. Whether you agree with the outcome or not, that vote should mean something. At some point, we have to stop asking whether an entertainment district can work somewhere and start asking whether it solves a real problem here. After months of my own research, already shared with you via email, conversations, public meetings, and reviewing both sides of the issue, I still haven't heard a persuasive answer to that question. We're living in an era where the sanctity of the vote must be fiercely protected. It is deeply hypocritical of City Council members who loudly profess their opposition to authoritarian tactics to turn around and trample on the very democratic processes they claim to defend. There is a profound betrayal in local leaders who condemn tyranny on the national stage while eroding democracy in our own backyard. The citizens decided. If you must, let them decide again. Thank you. Heather Wilson. Mr. Mayor and members of Eureka Springs City Council, this is from Devin Henderson. I regret I am unable to attend tonight's meeting due to previously scheduled vacation, but I wanted to take a moment to express my support for the proposed 90-day downtown social district trial. This pilot program represents an important opportunity for Eureka Springs to gather real-world data and evaluate the impacts of social district in a thoughtful and measured way. Rather than relying on assumptions, this trial will allow our community to assess actual outcomes related to tourism, business activity, public safety, resident experience, and overall community impact. The information collected during this period will help inform future decisions and ensure that any long-term considerations are based on facts and experience. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to the members of the Tourism Subcommittee. These individuals have volunteered countless hours to research, discuss, and develop this proposal while following the established process every step of the way. Their commitment to our community and their willingness to dedicate their time and energy to this effort deserve recognition and appreciation. I'm hopeful that the Council will approve this pilot program and allow our community the opportunity to evaluate its benefits and challenges through a structured, temporary trial. I also want to thank the Council for its willingness to consider new ideas and support thoughtful progress in Eureka Springs. Finally, I respectfully ask that all discussions surrounding this project remain professional, respectful, and constructive. The individuals involved in developing and supporting this proposal are community volunteers who care deeply about Eureka Springs and are working to make a positive contribution to the city that we all love. While opinions may differ, I believe we can have productive conversations that reflect the mutual respect our community deserves. Thank you for your time, service, and consideration of this proposal. Respectfully submitted, Devin Henderson. The next is from Dan Liming, and it is a simple one sentence. After much consideration, I vote no. Tammy Pasco, short but sweet. Tammy Pasco, thank you for the opportunity to provide feedback on the recent proposal. As a longstanding retailer deeply invested in the vibrancy of Eureka, I feel it is crucial to articulate my perspective that this initiative, while perhaps well-intentioned, appears to address a peripheral concern when weighed against the more significant foundational challenges currently facing our city center. It is often disheartening for local businesses, which contribute substantially to the community's economic well-being and character, to observe city planning discussions that seem disconnected from the pressing daily realities we encounter. This leads me to question the fundamental objective of this new proposal. Is the primary aim to genuinely enhance the inherent beauty and outdoor appeal of Eureka? Or is it a short-term measure designed to stimulate economic activity through increased consumption, hoping it will unilaterally propel our city's prosperity for decades to come? My principal concerns, which I believe warrant immediate and substantial attention, revolve around fundamental public services and safety. We frequently grapple with unacceptable conditions such as neglected public restrooms, consistently overflowing waste receptacles, and a conspicuous absence of visible law enforcement in our downtown area. Introducing policies that permit public alcohol consumption without first resolving these critical infrastructure and safety deficits would, in my estimation, only exacerbate existing problems, potentially leading to increased public disorder and a diminished quality of life for both resident and visitor. Instead, I envision a downtown where basic amenities are meticulously maintained, reflecting a city that genuinely values cleanliness and public comfort. Furthermore, a visible, proactive police presence, perhaps not officers on foot, engaging directly with local shopkeepers and residents, would be transformative. Such community-oriented policing offers invaluable public relation benefits, fosters a stronger sense of community, and unequivocally demonstrates the city's commitment to creating a truly welcoming and safe environment. It is particularly frustrating to hear budget constraints cited for essential infrastructure improvements, such as maintaining our sidewalks or improving public facilities, while simultaneously observing resources directed towards initiatives that seem less critical or even redundant given current public behaviors. Prioritizing efforts that address underlying issues of public safety, sanitation, and basic urban infrastructure would, I believe—
3 minutes has expired.
Thank you. Next one is from Lisa McElwee, owner of Oracle and Sage and Charmed, I'm Sure, both downtown businesses. City Council and those working on the Entertainment District proposal, I support moving forward with the trial period for the Entertainment District. I believe it has the potential to benefit downtown Eureka Springs, and I appreciate the thought that has already gone into the proposal. My only remaining concern is that I believe one additional measure is needed before implementation. If this is not part of the agreement, I will be adamantly opposed. As the owner of both Oracle and Sage, and charmed, I'm sure, my concern is not that people will be carrying beverages downtown. My concern is that retailers will be left managing spills, abandoned drinks, and the customer interactions that result from trying to prevent them. I do not want customers walking through either of my stores with uncovered beverages that can easily spill on merchandise, rugs, furnishings, or displays. Likewise, I do not want drinks being set down and forgotten inside or outside my business. These are concerns any business owner would have, just as most people would not want unknown visitors carrying uncovered drinks through their own home. I have been told that retailers can simply post signs prohibiting drinks or requiring lids. I do not believe that this is the best solution. It places retailers in the position of enforcing rules after the sale has already occurred and creates an unnecessary negative interaction with customers. We're welcoming businesses, and I do not want customers leaving with the impression that they are unwelcome because I am forced to police beverages that were sold elsewhere. Instead, I believe the responsibility should remain with the establishment serving the beverage. If a drink is intended to leave the premises, the customer should be offered a properly fitting lid and informed that some downtown businesses may require beverages to be covered before entering. Whether that lid is included or offered for an additional charge is up to the business serving the drink. I'm supportive of the Entertainment District only if there is a policy to address covered drinks, and believe this simple step would protect retailers, reduce spills, litter, improve the customer experience, and ensure responsibility remains with the businesses directly benefiting from beverage sales. Thank you for your consideration. Start the clock again. This is from Carolyn Bratcher. Carolyn is from the Secret Garden at 33 Spring. I just wanted to let you know that we're in favor of a 3-month trial for the social district. The next is a letter from Don Moffett to Mayor and members of the Eureka Springs City Council. I'm writing to express my support for the proposed downtown entertainment district and the upcoming 90-day trial period. As a business owner who has been serving visitors and residents in Eureka Springs for the past 10 years, I've seen firsthand how important it is for our community to continue finding ways to enhance the downtown experience while preserving the character that makes our town special. Our business regularly stays open later on weekends to accommodate guests who are enjoying everything Eureka Springs has to offer. During those 10 years, we've welcomed thousands of visitors into our store, including many who have been enjoying our local restaurants, bars, and entertainment venues. We've never experienced problems related to responsible adults having a drink while enjoying downtown. In fact, most visitors are simply looking to relax, shop, dine, and enjoy the unique atmosphere that makes Eureka Springs such a popular destination. I believe the Entertainment District is a natural extension of the hospitality and freedom that visitors already expect when they choose Eureka Springs for a weekend getaway. It provides another amenity that can encourage guests to stay longer, explore more businesses, and contribute more to our local economy. Eureka Springs has always been known for its welcoming atmosphere, independent spirit, and vibrant downtown. As neighboring communities continue to expand their tourism offerings, it is important that we remain competitive and continue providing experiences that attract visitors to our town. I believe the Entertainment District can help us do that while supporting local businesses and encouraging economic growth. Respectfully, Don Moffett, Eureka Clothing Company owner. The next is from Jane Grione. I'm not sure how to pronounce Jane's last name. I would like to vote for this. I am a worker downtown. I've witnessed people calmly strolling with a cocktail and enjoying themselves. I've not seen one drunk from this practice. The drunks people keep bringing up are the ones that sit in a bar for hours, get drunk, and then mosey out to disrupt things. That's two different mindsets. We must stay current and keep up with our competitors. It's a win-win for everyone, the tourists and the businesses. Most revenue for the town is good for everyone, or more revenue for town is good for everyone. These people opposed don't understand that they're confusing the mindset of a drunk and people that want to stroll with a cocktail, shop, enjoy entertainment, and sightsee in our beautiful town. The next one is from Richard Webb and does not have to do with the entertainment district. What a ridiculous joke. All of a sudden, everything is okay apparently at the Eureka Springs Hospital because you're making money again and it's all hunky-dory. What about the 100+ people that lost their livelihoods over the illegal actions of Cynthia Asbury, that was current CFO at the time, and Jody Edmondson, that was HR director, who also served as acting CEO at one time, even though she wasn't qualified to do so. My wife and I and a lot of other people were wronged and cheated by these people and are still suffering over it. We lost our jobs, cheated out of our vacation pay, sick pay, and had a black mark put on our employment record because of it. My next question to you all is, who do you think you are? To ignore everything that we went through and act like it didn't happen. Just like the proposal to allow people to walk around Eureka drunk out of their minds. Even though the people have voted against it, but it's going to make money for the city and you guys, right? You guys are the epitome of why no one trusts politicians and no one wants to vote anymore. You are all in it for yourselves and everyone sees it. You own that hospital and you know dozens of people were wronged by illegal actions of people you had in charge. These people are still hurting. Is it just the money that's important, or do these people matter as well? We deserve answers and reconciliation for what happened, and we won't stop until we get it for us and everyone else that it happened to. You're all responsible for what happened to us, especially you, Mr. Barry. You protected these people through vetoes and any other reason you could think of. Now we want answers. Next step, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. The next is from Blakely Wilson, who has Wilson & Wilson Folk Art downtown, to whom it may concern. I'm writing regarding the proposed Eureka Springs Entertainment District. I am fully supportive of the Entertainment District and believe that it has potential to be a positive addition to our community, benefiting both local businesses and visitors. As plans move forward, I believe the first order of business should be ensuring that an adequate supply of portable restrooms are placed throughout the district. These facilities should be sufficient to accommodate at least 10% more than the anticipated crowd size and should include clear, visible signage directing visitors to their locations. I also believe that a dedicated cleanup crew should be assigned to the district following events and peak activity periods. The goal should be to have streets, sidewalks, and public spaces cleaned and ready for business before the start of each morning. Proper planning for sanitation and cleanup will help ensure the entertainment district remains welcoming, safe, and enjoyable for residents, visitors, and business owners alike. Thank you for your consideration. The next is from Tracy Johnson, and again is very brief. Yes, comma, vote on entertainment district. The next is from Glenda Satterfield. Dear Mayor and Council, Eureka Springs was founded because of the spring in Basin Park. That park is the heart of our community and belongs to the citizens and visitors of all types, not just the progressive young professionals, some of which have vested interest in this issue because owning kiosks that will sell alcohol within the district. The citizens have spoken loud and clear that we do not want this permanent entertainment district. It is unfathomable that the council is considering the wishes of the Chamber of Commerce above the wishes of the people who elected them and for whom they are supposed to represent. Please put this issue aside and get on with solving the many issues that we face. Respectfully, Glenda Satterfield. The next, my name is Chris Brady. My wife Tracy and I own Enchanted Soul. We opened our business in May of 2023, and since then we've had a front row seat to what is happening in Eureka Springs. I want to address the statement made at last meeting that local businesses do not support an entertainment district. That statement does not represent us. We absolutely support it. The reality is that people are already walking around downtown during special events with wristbands, and those events bring energy, activity, and spending into the city. Making that permanent is not some radical idea. It's simply adopting what visitors already enjoy. More importantly, we need to stop pretending that everything is fine. Our sales are down approximately 40% compared to 2023. Tourism is down. Business owners talk about it every day. We can either acknowledge the problem and start making improvements, or we can continue doing what Eureka Springs has always done, fighting change until it's too late. The entertainment district is one piece of a much larger conversation. Visitors also talk about parking. They talk about sidewalks. They talk about accessibility. They talk about the difficulty of getting around town. If Eureka wants to remain a destination, we need to start focusing on making the visitor experience better instead of finding reasons not to move forward. What I find ironic is that Eureka Springs prides itself on being a progressive community, yet when that actual progress is proposed, too often the response is resistance. Standing still is not a strategy. If we want thriving businesses, more visitors, and a stronger local economy, we need to be willing to evolve. The permanent entertainment district is a step in that direction, and we support it. Thank you. The next is from Lamont Ritchie. My name is Lamont Ritchie. Steve and I moved here nearly 35 years ago. We've owned and operated 2 businesses, both tourist-related. I am far from a teetotaler, and during festivals, I am happy to consume an adult beverage in public within the designated area. I'm out of the country right now and cannot be there to personally comment, but the downtown entertainment district issue has become more and more heated, and in some respects, nasty, and I feel compelled to speak nonetheless. I do not see it letting up regardless of what the council does on Monday night. I don't think either is totally accurate, but I feel that these opinions are likely to become more extreme. I understand there's a resolution calling for a temporary district, but the council agenda is devoid of any details. I assume it is for a temporary downtown district, a 90-day trial, if you will. But that begs the question, if council can approve a 90-day temporary district, what's to prevent it from creating a 1-year or longer temporary district by resolution? If it was done by ordinance, a referendum petition would be an option, but I'm not sure about a resolution since it neither creates a law nor appropriates funds. Our own referendum ordinance refers to just ordinances. State law does not give us much guidance either. So I will proceed with the understanding that any entertainment district created by council by resolution is not subject to a referendum petition. And if that's the case, I will oppose anything that the citizens are precluded from challenging. I do appreciate the facts provided regarding trash and police incidents during the Blues Festival. For me, though, that is just one aspect of the discussion. For many, me included, the prospect of downtown becoming a 7-day-a-week, 10-hour-a-day open container district is nothing short of a bar without doors, and contrary to how I see the town. Lack of drunken brawls or other issues during Blues Festival notwithstanding, I believe concern for the atmosphere and image of downtown is a valid reason to oppose any entertainment district other than for specific events. So, how do we resolve this? What's the most fair way to move on? For what it's worth, I believe the only solution is for this issue to be put on the ballot in November and let the voters decide, just as we did 5 years ago. Whatever the outcome, we live with it until we don't, and someone or someones decide to challenge the status quo. And with due respect to the concept of representative government, plus acknowledging how divisive this issue has become, I believe that letting the people have the final say is the only answer, and it's only 4.5 months away. The next is from Matt Firabend, who has Pure Joy ice cream here in town. I wanted to voice my support for the entertainment district. The next is from Lacey Moffett, also owner of Eureka Clothing Company. Dear members of City Council, I am writing to express my strong support for the establishment of an entertainment district in Eureka Springs, allowing for responsible alcohol consumption on the streets while shopping. This initiative can significantly boost our local businesses and enhance the overall visitor experience, making our town even more appealing to tourists. However, I'm also compelled to address my concerns regarding Harry Myers. It has become increasingly clear that he does not represent the opinions and needs of our community. I believe it is crucial for our city to have leadership that truly respects our values and aspirations. Therefore, I urge you to consider asking for his resignation. Thank you for your attention to these important matters. I look forward to seeing positive changes that will benefit Eureka Springs. Lacey Moffett, Eureka Clothing Company. And last but certainly not least, this is from Jack Moyer. I'm pleased to provide a report on the most recent Blues Party event. Our community hosted an estimated crowd of 8,500 additional visitors. Our police department reports, quote, I reviewed all incidents that occurred during the requested time frame from Thursday, May 28th through Sunday, May 31st. Based on that review, there were no findings related to the downtown district. That's from Tommy Barber, Dispatch Supervisor Officer Manager with Eureka Springs Police Department. Jack goes on to say, our community center reported net proceeds in excess of $10,000 to support future programs at the center. Clearly, a successful event, and I personally would like to thank all the partners involved. And that concludes these letters.
To conclude public comments?
It does.
All right.
I'm worn out.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. We appreciate it, and I'm sure the council will take that all under consideration. We will now move into our unfinished business, and first up is water, sewer, and street update.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
I just want to say before I start, some of y'all aren't the only nervous ones up here. I get nervous too. So completely normal, I think. So I'll start with the water updates. We repaired a leak above Music Park. We repaired a leak on Pivot Rock Road. And we repaired a leak around 28 Spring Street. We're continuing the installation of the bacteriological sampling stations at our water towers. And we are currently repairing the Plainer Hill Island irrigation system, so hopefully we'll have that done probably tomorrow. And then the last thing on my water updates is the Highway 23 booster pump station. We had a pump that was leaking water real bad around the seal. We pulled that pump out, and it turns out that the shaft is completely marred. And when they took it apart, it kind of fell apart, and it turned out that that pump was the 1977 model or 76 model, which is crazy because booster pump station was built in like 1980, so I don't know how that came to be, but we're trying to get a price on a new pump to put in there. So that's all I have for the water updates. Any questions? Nope.
Sewer plant running okay?
Sewer plant's running good, yeah, no issues over there. The only thing I have on the wastewater side is we repaired a clog on the Dairy Hollow force main. So on Dairy Hollow Court, there's a lift station down there at the end, and the line that came out of it had a clog, and we broke that loose last week, and that's about all I have for updates as far as wastewater goes.
Nothing from McClellan?
No. I tried to reach out to Oscar this morning, and I haven't got a hold of him, so I don't have anything to report on with McClellan right now. So as far as streets go, so we did some asphalt patching today up at 5 Cliff Street. We had some areas that eroded out due to that heavy rain that we got this morning. Last week, the street guys started painting the center stripe on the historic loop. And then our upcoming projects are, we're going to take our skid steer, and the new skid steer that we bought has a brush hog attachment, and it kind of completely fell out of my memory that we even had that thing until I was talking to the mayor on the phone last week. But we're going to go try to brush hog some of Pivot Rock and at least get a walk path where they can get off the road and safely walk in that area. And that's all I have for the streets. Any questions? Yes.
So up on White Street, there's lines cut into the road?
Yeah, so that's my next thing here. So for our miscellaneous information for you guys that I wrote down, number one is we had an algae bloom in one of our F-450 truck, the diesel tank, so we've been having some issues with it. We went and picked it up today, but we're going to have to continually change out the fuel filter. We get that cleared out. Philip Lewis is going to survey the roundabout for utility relocation in the next couple weeks. They'll have a staff out here to do that. And then here in the near future, we're going to be performing a new income survey to be able to apply for grants for lower income areas. So I've been working with the mayor, and we're trying to get all the paperwork together. Then we'll meet with volunteers and different entities to try to get that pushed out as efficiently as possible. The Black Bass Dam work, and that's not a cuss word, I should say Black Bass Darn, is going out to bid pretty soon. We received our new hydro excavation trailer. The guys really love it, so it came in. And then last but not least, Black Hills Energy has hired Barrows to replace the gas line on White Street. So that gas main's a very old gas main. It's an odd size that they can't get fittings for. They're going to have to replace that whole entire section through White Street from about Ermelio's on down past Dick and Zeke's house. So and they're gonna tie off some of those side roads as well. So you'll see that construction happening pretty soon.
Is that going to block the street at all? Like we'll have to detour around it?
So as you're going around the historic loop from here, it'll be on the Ermelio side of the road going down, and then they'll have to do the road crossings to attach the houses that are on the opposite side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't involve any road closures that are prolonged by any stretch of the imagination, but it will impact the parking along White Street.
Okay. Have another one. So we're noticing the yellow painted lines. Thank you for that. Are we going to do pedestrian right-of-ways downtown, the white lines?
Yeah. We went out and we measured some of the roads such as Pivot Rock and the Grand, Dairy Hollow, East Mountain, those different roads to see if that was a possibility for us to start doing that. And unfortunately, the roads are not wide enough to be able to squeeze that in there and still have two-way traffic, so we're not going to be able to do that. There was never a discussion about doing it on the loop itself because there's already sidewalk established in most of those areas. And if we were to do that, it'd probably get rid of all the parallel parking that's along the loop.
So I mean like the pedestrian crossing like across Spring Street?
You're talking about crosswalks.
You're talking about crosswalks. Yeah. So crosswalks, we'll be redoing the crosswalks before long too.
And also the parking stripes for the parking.
Correct.
along that.
Yeah. We just have to wait for good weather and the availability of our staff to be able to do it, so. And that's all I have.
Any other questions? Thank you, Simon. All right, our next item of business is ordinance 2388, increase in cemetery commission membership.
Move to discuss. Second. Mr. Mayor, I put this on and we voted on it last time, so we're into the third and final reading of it. I just want to point out that we received one application tonight. We got 2 more applications pending. I'm still trying to recruit other people to try to get the commission up to 7 people. I am committed to doing that. I think this is an important commission. It's overlooked a lot, and I'm taking on a personal task of making that happen. So with that said, I'd like to move to suspend the rules and place ordinance, 2388 on its third reading by title only.
Second.
I thought we did first. I thought we did first and second.
I think we did. I thought I heard a second. I'll second
No, we're
it.
talking
I
about
wanna
second
add.
reading, whether this is a third
Did.
reading or second reading.
We read it
Second.
one time last meeting.
We did? Are we sure? I thought it was 2. I thought we did 2.
Your minutes reflect that it
We just did it one time according to the minutes.
Okay.
So
I move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 2388 on its second reading by title only. Second.
Okay, Mr. Holyfield made the motion to place ordinance 2388 on second reading and suspending the rules and read it by title only, and Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. McClung.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer.
Yes.
Ms. Moyer.
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield.
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino.
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes.
Ordinance 2388, an ordinance amending Section 2.72.020 of the Eureka Springs Municipal Code to increase membership of the Cemetery Commission from 5 members to 7 members and for other purposes.
I move to approve the second reading, ordinance 2388. Second.
Mr. Holyfield moved to approve ordinance 2388 on second reading. Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. McClung.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer.
Yeah.
Ms. Moyer.
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield.
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino.
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes. Yes.
Ordinance 2388, an ordinance amending Section 2.72.020 of the Eureka Springs Municipal Code to increase the membership of the Cemetery Commission from 5 members to 7 members and for other purposes.
Mr. Mayor, I move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 2388 on its third reading by title only. Second.
All right, Mr. Holyfield moved to suspend the rules and place ordinance 2388 on its third and final reading by title only. Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer.
Yes.
Ms. Moyer.
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield.
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino.
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes.
Ordinance 2388, an ordinance amending Section 2.72.020 of the Eureka Springs Municipal Code to increase the membership of the Cemetery Commission from 5 members to 7 members and for other purposes.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2388 on its third and final reading. Second.
All right.
Suspend the rules, read by title only.
Well, we're just reading it. We've already done that, so we're reading it for passage.
I move to approve ordinance 2388 by third reading, passage. Second.
Any discussion? Mr. McClung?
I just want to say that I don't know that more is better. I think less is better, actually, but we'll give it a test. We'll see how it goes.
I feel the same way.
Same.
If you're willing to go through all that work, enlist folks, have at it.
All right. All right, roll call.
Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Ms. Moyer,
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield,
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino,
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 2388 is now passed and will become law in 30 days. All right, next order of business is city meeting locations, a resolution.
Motion to discuss.
Second?
All right. We have a resolution establishing a policy that the meetings of all city boards and commissions and committees will be held in the city auditorium when available. And this is a resolution establishing that policy. Is there any questions? Okay, I need a motion to assign this resolution a number and read for passage.
Mr. Mayor, I move to assign the resolution number and read it for passage by title only, suspend the rules.
Second. Here, a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. Holyfield made a motion to assign this resolution a number and read for passage only and read by title only, and Ms. Gruning seconded. Any comments? No. Hearing none. Roll call.
Thanks. Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Ms. Moyer,
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield,
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino,
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes.
This will be Resolution 911, a resolution establishing a policy that meetings of city boards, commissions, and committees shall be held in the city auditorium when available in order to facilitate video recording, broadcasting, and public access, and for other purposes.
All right. Under new business, get a motion to discuss pension board rule number 4.
Move to discuss.
Second.
All right, this is a resolution adopting the Pension Review Board, which is a similar resolution that we pass on a yearly basis that's required by the state for our review for our Fireman's Pension Board to allow them to go ahead and utilize the alternative cash flow projections that they have. This is the same thing, like I said, we've done ever since the beginning. So, is there any questions? If not, I'd take a motion to assign this a number and read for passage.
I move we assign this resolution for a number and read it for passage.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Ms. Moyer,
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield,
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino,
Yes.
Ms. Gruning.
Yes.
This is resolution number 910. Whereas the local fire pension board has passed a resolution adopting the Arkansas Fire and Police Pension Review Board Rule number 4, and whereas this allows pension plans with less than 50 participants to utilize the alternate cash flow projection valuation method of determining actuarial soundness, and whereas the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, along with the local fire pension board, certifies to the Arkansas Fire and Police Pension Review Board its understanding of Board Rule number 4 and the risks involved with a small group, and certifies its understanding of the risk involved with an alternate cash flow method. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that the council hereby approves the utilization of Board Rule number 4 for the local Firemen's Pension Fund.
All right, that brings us up to our final item of business, is the temporary entertainment district.
Move to discuss.
Good second.
Second.
Was that you, Ms. Moyer? Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Point of order. Would the city attorney tell us about the rules about recusing?
Right.
Well, there aren't any rules about recusing. That is a matter that you guys have to decide for yourself. There's no mechanism for forcing someone to recuse. If someone has a direct pecuniary interest in something that's before the board, that would be a pretty clear case when someone should recuse. So that's what I can tell you.
Can you define what a direct interest is?
If you own property, real property that's subject to something that is before the board, if the city is contracting with a business that you own, if you receive some form of financial payment as a result of something that happens before the board.
So a
Things
council
along those-
member's spouse working for an entity that may benefit from a change in an ordinance, or
Well,
it's very indirect.
it is very indirect, and based on the facts as I know them, I have no information that Ms. Moyer's husband will receive any kind of financial benefit whatsoever from the entertainment district. The district doesn't only apply to the Basin Park Hotel, it applies to all businesses in the downtown area, so that business is not being singled out for any special benefit or anything like that. And, based on my knowledge, he will not, I have no information that he will receive a bonus based on the sales from the bar or anything like that. To my knowledge, that would not occur.
And also being very transparent, my husband works for the Basin Park Hotel, one of his jobs. So,
In my opinion, if you're just on salary and your salary is not dependent in any way on sales of alcoholic beverages or anything that would be impacted directly by the entertainment district, in my opinion, I don't know that that is a direct conflict.
Okay.
Ms. Gruning?
And my husband is a contracted musician with the Basin Hotel.
I mean, the same analysis would apply. I mean, he's not going to receive any more money based specifically on the entertainment district. So,
Just asking, it's been brought up.
I mean, so that's where we are as far as I know. If there were other facts, that may change my analysis, but as it stands now, I don't see any direct conflicts before the board at this time.
Good clarification, thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like the police chief to come up. I have a question for him, because it seems I've been put on the spot and almost called a liar over something.
Mayor and council.
Chief, what did you witness a man with a bottle of beer and the armband?
Yes, during the
Basin
New
Park?
Year's event, I had him throw that bottle away.
Okay. And that's what I stated last meeting, and I also said that Parks picked up a lot of bottles the next day after the blues thing was over with. And I said I don't know where they came from, but they may have come from the same place that he got his, which was, he said he told you he got it at the Basin Park, right?
He said he got it from the Basin Park Hotel.
Yeah.
But he couldn't tell me where that was located, where the bar was located. I asked him to take me to it, but he couldn't find his way back there.
That's interesting. You didn't tell me that one. Well, and as far as the, thanks, Chief. As far as the someone saying that I didn't do any poll, well, the poll I did, me and Dee Root did a poll 5 years ago. We printed up an anonymous poll, and I delivered them to all of the retailers that were inside the included proposed entertainment district. They were self-addressed and stamped to go to my office, and Dee did and they were anonymous. They didn't put their name on anything like the mayor has on his poll. And the reason we did that, was because of the rancor that was going on at that time. I mean, I was called a liar at that meeting when I announced the results, because Dee averaged them. So it looked like, oh, no, and they'd never get exactly 50%. Well, it was actually 52% and it was 48, but you rounded them off. But anyway, I'm not a liar. I don't make stuff up, especially something important as this. And that's all I've got to say about that. And I'm not going to resign because of it. Thank you.
Ms. Moyer?
So we have a resolution to create a temporary entertainment district, which is essentially a 30-day pilot. And I have some general comments.
Did you say 30?
90-day pilot program. And I have some general comments. I read through the application, and it's clear that this issue has triggered emotional reactions throughout our community. Up until now, it's been framed as a citizen versus moneyed interest group matter, or as a community versus government issue. And all this has done is created a lot of hard feelings, disrespectful dialogue, and really reestablished a sort of fear in our community. And I think that is unfortunate. The story of good versus evil is a really easy one to understand. We all understand good versus evil stories, but it's not always accurate. There are other perspectives, and I believe that our community really wants, all of us, want Eureka to be a vibrant community that's safe for residents and safe for visitors, not one with drunken people wandering around destroying property. I agree with public comments that instituting a policy that favors one segment of the community over another is not the answer. Placing broad and unrefined ordinances on the ballot, like the one that was placed beforehand, I'd be happy to read it, but we've been here for so long at this point, is not the answer either, in my opinion. Because Eureka Springs has chosen a direct district ordinance approach, meaning that all the rules for an entertainment district are simultaneously set, rather than having a controlling ordinance and then more specific rules. I believe that it's most prudent to place a fully vetted ordinance for a permanent entertainment district on the ballot. With that said, I do not believe it's prudent to place it on the ballot in November. I do not believe that this issue, although it is very important to many people in this community, I don't believe it outweighs the urgency of relief for our citizens in paying for infrastructure improvements. And I believe that if this goes on the ballot, it will confuse voters how to vote, because it's already a pressurized, difficult process. I certainly wouldn't support anything that would jeopardize the passing of a 1% sales tax and bond issue to grant relief to our citizens for basic services that the city should provide. I do support evidence-based decision-making, and I believe that an extended TED, such as the one proposed here, is an opportunity to gather data. While 90 days in season will not produce the quality of data that would withstand rigorous peer review in an academic research project, it can provide valuable insight that can inform policy in a meaningful way, which is all I think we're looking for here. I believe that the TED is a political compromise, the one with the application before us. Acknowledging the immense amount of effort that has gone on the part of our young business community to create responsible policy while limiting its impacts to a short period of time, allowing us to learn more. I believe that this will also help us understand the impacts of open carry in our community when a special event is not occurring at the same time. If council is going to consider the pilot project and this application before us, I believe there should be some changes, and I'm speaking to specific vetted policy here. I think it should be a 16-ounce cup. I've looked at many cities. None of them use 20 ounces. I think that's excessive. I think 16 ounces holds a 12-ounce beer. I think there should be an addition to an operational rule, a maximum of 1 open container per person. No one's picked up on that. You could carry 2 around with you, I suppose. So I think that should be an additional operational rule to this application. I think there should be reporting on the following KPIs that should be provided to City Council at a public meeting within 30 days at the end of this TED. That would include the change of AMP tax collections, citywide monthly general sales tax receipts, change in the number of alcohol violations, change in the number of reported incidents, to answer whether or not this generates revenue and whether or not it creates problems. This is an opportunity to learn, and I would encourage the council to use it as such. I've consulted with the city attorney. I do not believe there's a conflict of interest, but I acknowledge the perception expressed here tonight. I respect that, and I will recuse myself from the vote on this application. Thank you.
Mr. Moore?
Mr. Meyer?
The map is very vague. It's not a very good map. We need a better map than this. You know, the little hook up here, it turns out the police chief tells me that's a continuation of Spring Street, but I don't even know how far that goes. And then on Main Street, it goes all the way to Benton Street. But the last place to get a drink is at Spring on Main. And I heard it was just to include retailers on that side of the street. Well, if we're going to include retailers, how come the rest of Spring Street isn't included? Because this is a state highway down here, and I understand that this is the most dangerous place to have somebody walking around with a drink and crossing the highway, and I don't know how you're going to tell them that they can't cross Highway 23 with the drink in their hand. I mean, if it's on Spring Street, it's both sides of the street up here, but on Main Street, no. I just don't think that's a good idea. And I don't think that the police chief agrees with me on that one. And is this a list of the bars that are supposed to be included in this? Because the Grand Central Hotel is included, and it's not included on the map. So it shouldn't be included in this.
Can we ask,
Yes, Ms. Groening?
can we ask Colin to come up?
Oh, we can handle this ourselves. This is our business. We're the ones that make this decision.
She made a request for Colin to come up. He can come up, and it's application.
No, those are great points. Our original application for the trial period actually was all-inclusive of downtown Eureka Springs, from Reds all the way up to the Palace Hotel, down to the Bodega and Haunted Grounds. However, that application never made it before City Council because it was denied before it ever got to you. That application was denied because of the map. So we revised the map to make it a one that's closer to the current temporary entertainment districts that we've had in the past. The plan for the 98A entertainment district was to, after 30 days, if there was no incidents, everything went well, to meet with the police chief, to meet with the hospital, meet with the mayor's office, and double check. Do we have any rises in crime? Do we have any falls? Do we have any incidents that would put a halt on this? If we need to stop it, that's chief's prerogative. But what we'd like to do is expand it every 30 days The first expansion after 30 days preferably would go up to the Eureka Springs Historic Museum. Preferably go up to Bruce. And so that's the plan for the 90-day. We approach you here today with what we could get approved to get before the City Council.
What about going back to the question on the Grand Central Hotel?
So whenever we submitted it with all of the bars and restaurants in the entire downtown that would be included in the full entertainment district. Whenever we had to decrease it, we forgot to remove a couple of those off the list, the Grand Central and Mud Street being two of those.
Can we put up with the verbiage of downtown social district in the resolution when it's not a legal description?
Well, I think your ordinance requires the event to have a name. Right. And I just assumed that was the name of the event.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
Mr. Almanzino?
Just a couple of questions. First, I want to ask, and I've asked this before to Devin with the Chamber, and we're getting mixed answers, whether the city pays for this or does the Chamber pay for this? So who is paying for these wristbands, decals, cups, whatever?
Business owners.
Okay.
Business
So
owners buy their wristbands.
no expense to the city.
The city already has enough signage that we can make the entertainment district go off without a hitch without requiring any more. So we don't have to pay for signage, we don't have to pay for cups, we don't have to pay for wristbands. That's the cups and the wristbands are paid for by the business owners themselves. So no cost.
Okay. My second, and not really a question, but a statement, is one of the businesses that were for the district suggested porta potties. I don't think that would be a good thing for this city at all, to bring in porta potties to help with our restroom problem. It's a restroom problem, nothing that a porta potty is going to fix. And my third thing is, I'm looking at the resolution here, and nowhere in this resolution does it say that you're going to expand this district every 30 days.
So just to add one more thing to the initial question you asked, the Chamber has also purchased, I think, 5,000 wristbands to hand out to bars and restaurants with ABC license in the district to get them started. And to answer your second question about the, repeat it one more time just so I'm
Porta potties?
The porta potties?
Yeah.
I don't think we have any plans to add porta potties. I suppose that would be a discussion with Simon, but I suspect he would think that's a bad idea as well.
And the third, expansion of the district? Because this is the first I've heard of expansion.
That's internally, our ideal would be to expand it to the original map, but if the police chief and council and the data that comes back suggest that we shouldn't do that, we of course would not push for that.
Ms. Groening?
So that was actually what I was going to ask. The 90-day district is to collect data as it is at that size. And then in 90 days, we can see whether it's a success or not before we go jumping the gun.
Sure, I think we would.
And I think that's fair. I think the 16-ounce cups are fair that Rochelle brought up. And
There's no cup.
One drink per person, even though we assume people would know that, you just want to make sure it's in the ordinance and clearly stated. And
This is not an ordinance.
Resolution.
what, you want to add that in?
You guys can move to amend it if you want to, or add that to the application as a condition if you want to. The resolution doesn't exactly. There is.
No, wait, please. No comments.
I see.
Wait, no. That's right. He was invited up here. He was invited up here. He was invited up here. You're interrupting the city attorney. Would you let the city attorney speak, please? Please.
I'm happy to sit down unless one of you invites me up.
All right.
The resolution itself doesn't address all of the things that are contained in the application. So if you guys want to make an amendment to that, I think you can do that by motion tonight.
Okay.
Mr. McClung?
Okay, first of all, I have absolutely no personal problem with the entertainment district at all. I don't. However, I do have to take into consideration the constituents of the town of Eureka Springs and the voters and what they've done in the past. And they did pass, they walked the referendum and got it passed, and it got voted down. And so, I think we are, coming back to something that's already been decided. However, we're doing it with this 90-day resolution. I think it is fact-finding, and I think it gives us an opportunity to find out one way or the other. And it's not going to be, like Ms. Moyer said, it's not going to be 100%, but it's going to get us in the right direction with it, and should be close. That if it's going to be a good thing or not a good thing. So I'm willing to try that, but I would like Ms. Moyer to make to propose this resolution based on the amendments that she has thrown out there, all three of them.
Well, she doesn't want to vote on it, so I think we need other people.
Well, she can't vote on it, but she can make.
I'd make a motion that we change this 20 ounce to 16 ounce. That's a good idea on their application, so that. And I also make a motion that we not go all the way to Benton Street. I think it should stop. It should stop at Spring on Main.
You got. No, wait, please. Please, ma'am. We're not entertaining the comments right now. These people came up here because they put in the application. You did not put in the application. That's the reason they're up here speaking, to clarify the application. Mr. McClung?
All right. His motion was not seconded.
No.
So what I'd like to do is make a motion that we amend the resolution by changing the 20-ounce cups to 16-ounce cups, by doing 1 cup per person, per establishment. And there was a third one. What was the other one?
Reporting.
Yeah.
Reporting.
And the reporting within 30 days of the completion of the third. And it's going to stop. At the end of the 90 days, it's done. It's done. And then we get a report 30 days later. And then we make the decision.
Mr. Holyfield?
I agree with what's been said here tonight. I think a trial 90-day period is a good idea to collect information. I think it's been done other places that did this. They did a 90-day trial to see if it works or not. I do disagree that I think this should go to the ballot. I think that people should vote on it. I think our citizens are smart enough to see the 1% and see this as something else and see this as something else. I am supporting the entertainment district, but only if it goes to a vote at some point for the citizens. To me, it was voted on one time, and it got voted down. By 45 votes, I think. But that's still a majority of the people in town. I think if we just do an entertainment district, temporary entertainment district, and just keep extending it, we're bypassing what the vote.
Nobody's saying that. I'm not saying that.
Someone did say that they thought we shouldn't take this to the vote November 3rd. And I don't agree with that.
Mr. Amazino?
I think Rochelle has a response. I'll let her go ahead.
I do. I wanted to clarify that I feel it could go to the ballot, just not the next ballot.
Did you 2 years?
Second?
To confuse the issues, to have, there's plenty of evidence that shows that with multiple initiatives, voters will vote no on all.
So it'll be 2 years from now, 2 years from November.
Or you make arrangements to do special election or something like that?
I don't know if it, no. Mr. McClung?
Yeah, I agree. The way I see this here is that 90 days, the 90-day trial period, 30 days we get the reporting, and then if it's positive, everybody gets an opportunity to make an informed decision, and yes, then we put it on the ballot. And if we don't have the information, why bother? If it's not going to wash, if it's not going to make muster, then why go through the expense and the time of putting it on the ballot? So but I think it gives us the information to help everyone in town make an informed decision when it's their turn to vote.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yeah, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, is that, number one, I appreciate all the hard work that you guys have put in this, not just you two, but members of the chamber, members of the people who live here. It's a lot of work to come up with these things, and I appreciate what you've done. With that being said, I have to agree with Mr. Holyfield in that, I've said it before, our citizens have already voted on this, and I could not in good faith or good conscience vote on an issue at this table when I know that the majority of our constituencies out there have already said no. So change my mind, do something, because right now, the majority of the phone calls, and after our conversation last week, or last council meeting, I asked you to have the people that are in support of this contact me, and nobody directly contacted me. It was just on your Facebook post. So I do appreciate that. But it led to other people reaching out, showing their support. But it's still the majority of people say no, that they don't want it.
So I want to reiterate a couple things. There's a reason that I started going to each one of you sitting at this table, almost all of you, back in October. It was because there's an election in 2026. That was not an accident. It wasn't a coincidence. That was purposeful because I did see that it was on the ballot. I voted for it in 2020, even though there was 2 entertainment district ballot measures on the same ballot during COVID that was super confusing for your electorate. So there's that. I also want to point out Harry Meyer's poll that he did 5 years ago that had 100% no.
50%.
Okay, it changed. 50% no.
I didn't say 100%.
We just did a poll.
Don't call me a liar.
We just did a poll downtown we didn't hit quite everybody. I think there was about 12 to 15 business owners that we couldn't hit. They're either closed or had an employee there. 82% of the people that we polled downtown, businesses, are for the entertainment district. You have that poll sitting in front of you.
We do.
I think if I could respond to one thing, David, that you mentioned about 2020 versus voting on it today or thinking about it today. COVID's been mentioned 100 times. I think that's part of what makes it different. I think maybe a bigger thing that makes it different, though, is that most of the states that have entertainment districts enacted them in response to COVID, and so 2020 and later. Eureka Springs didn't have our temporaries until 2020 and later. So we really had no comparisons to look at, right? It was, I think, a riskier vote in 2020 because we didn't know from other towns or from temporaries in Eureka what that would look like. I think now we have 6 years of data of temporary entertainment districts in Eureka Springs and 6 years of data from hundreds of other entertainment districts that are permanent in other places. That data is not perfect. No place compares exactly to Eureka, but I do think we have a lot more comparisons both within our town and outside of our town now than we had in 2020, which I think, that doesn't mean that it should or should not go to the ballot, but it does mean that it's maybe a different question in some ways than it was in 2020.
Mr. Meyer?
I'm confused. All of a sudden, we've had all these set temporary entertainment districts, so we already have the data, but you want to do a 90-day trial period to get data. Now, does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
It makes no sense to me.
We don't have any data on weekdays. We don't have data outside of large events. So actually the data we have would be a very conservative measure in some ways because it's measuring when we have a lot of people in town, which tends to be when problems occur. So we don't have data from weekdays. Your city council, I'm sure you have access to the police chief and to that data. He told us he has data going back at least 3 years, I think. Any given day, what occurred in that place. So if you wanted to pull that data, that would certainly, I think, be wise. But I do think that 90 days with weekdays involved is useful information as well.
Mr. McClung, you had a comment?
Just going to say what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give us a lot more data. Absolutely.
So, do you want to make your proposal a 16 ounce again, and then I'll second that.
Well, I think first thing we need to do, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we. How much of this would have to be read? Just the first.
Read by title only, suspend the rules and read by title only?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to suspend the rules. I want to read it.
Well, then you got to read it all.
Well, but I want to make a motion that we assign this resolution a number to read for approval and approve it.
With your amendments.
Well, I think I need to make the motion and get it second, and then I need to make the amendment.
Second.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, I would like to make a motion that we make 3 amendments to this resolution, one being that we change from a 20-ounce to 16-ounce cup, 2, that in each establishment only 1 cup per person can be sold. I'm not sure how they monitor that, but that's what we're going to request. And then the third is that within 30 days of the end of the 90 days period that it will cease. The 90 days will be over, and within 30 days of that, we get a report on the findings.
Over here.
Okay.
Now I need a second.
I have a question.
I'll second.
We need a second first.
I'll second that.
And Mr. McMyer second. All right. Ms. Moyer?
Yeah.
Did you have?
I had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Green?
I'm over here like in no man's land. When you say cease, do we have the option to look at renewing it if data's good, everything looks good? We've had no issues at that time, or do we just say we're done?
At the end of the 90 days, it stops.
Yeah, I think your ordinance would require the submission of a new application.
Okay.
And then within 30 days, they provide us with the results.
Right. Okay.
And then, in my mind, what would happen next would be then if it's positive, we can have it, see about getting it put on the ballot.
Okay.
If it's negative, then it's history.
Okay.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yeah, I agree with Mr. McClung, and that, after the 90-day trial, it's done. And then we have to, you guys give us your data, prove to us that this is what you say it will be or can be, prove to the citizens that live here, not the business owners that don't live here, but those that do live here, that actually vote, okay? Because that is an issue. That's a hot topic issue. And then at that 90-day point, it ceased, and then I think it should be brought to ballot at the next election. That's just my opinion.
Can I ask a clarifying question? So when you say we provide the data, I mean, we're happy to provide what data we're able to collect, but some of this, like the tax data, would come from CAPC or from the city.
The city provided
The police, yeah, the
Mr.
police
Mayor,
chief.
point of order. We've had a motion and a second. We need to vote on it.
No, we're still discussing. We're in discussion.
Yeah,
Well,
Colton,
the
what
council,
So the council was in discussion. Council asked a question.
Yeah, Colton, what I'm saying is that police department, fire, EMS, CAPC, state tax records with Michael, get all that data together and then bring it to us and show us what actually did happen.
I think my question was, are we allowed to collect that? Are we allowed to get that data first, or would they take it straight to you?
The resolution requires the mayor or the mayor's designee to do that and present the report to city council.
Okay.
And we did talk to Billy. We met with Billy after our first application was denied for the full downtown map. And our plan is to meet with Billy on a regular basis starting from day one. So like, we're not going to wait 90 days and then go talk to Billy. Yeah, so after 30 days, y'all are going to see us up here again, whether yeah, whether you want to or not. We're not going to wait till 90 days to come back here. Because one of my biggest issues with the way this is right now is it's not all encompassing of downtown. It needs to be all of downtown in order for this to work. We shouldn't exclude anybody. And so we're going to be pushing after 30 days to try and include more people. And that is all going to rely on that data. So we will be back before 90 days to see you guys with the data.
That doesn't change
Now,
this application. That doesn't change this application.
no, it'd be a new application. Basically,
We would have to submit a new application for that, yeah.
Okay.
There's, Mr. McClung, you made a motion to amend this resolution?
I believe I did, yes.
And that was to change it to, from a 16-ounce cup to a 12-ounce cup?
No, from a 20 to a 16.
Oh, from a 20 to a 16?
how about a 6-ounce?
Okay. From a 20 to a 16-ounce,
Yeah,
1 cup per person,
yeah,
and reporting within the 30 days.
yes.
All right,
Are we still in discussion?
we are.
I just want to bring up, as Ken brought up to me, Bill Street Festival in Memphis has been closed for the last 2 years after the city park that it's held in suffered a $1.4 million in damages, and repairs were being litigated after the promoters refused to pay for damages. Who would be responsible for any damages that are occurred from this TED? Is it going to be the city? Is it going to be the chamber? Who's going to be responsible for damages?
I suppose the person that caused them, but I mean, can you?
Well, what he's saying here is that the person that caused them, which the promoter, which should be carrying insurance for those things, has refused to pay for the damages.
I don't know. According to the resolution, is the chamber considered a promoter, event promoter? I'm not sure. I'm asking.
Yeah, Mr. McClung?
So it sounds like that's an event like saying Jeep Jam caused, like a Jeep ran into a statue and you had to replace a statue. That's an event promoter thing that doesn't really have anything to do with whether there's an entertainment district or not. I'm trying to grasp where an event equals an entertainment district, and how an event damage would be considered entertainment district damage. But I think that's one of those blurry lines that people like to try and lump all the events in with what we're trying to do. And this social district is not an event in and of by itself. All the events have their own event promoters. They have their own event permits. They require extra enforcement, extra trash, etc. So they're two different entities. So to ask what it's going to happen if Jeep Jam causes a bunch of damage, to be asking that of us, I think you're asking the wrong party.
Did somebody else have a question, Mr. McClung?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. If we pass if we we pass this, it's our monkey.
Yeah.
It's ours, you know, and if it is a
We
special
own it.
event that occurs through there and something happens on something, it could be their deal, but it's, you know, I think that our liability for is no different than it's ever been.
Okay.
Not that I'm a lawyer.
I have one comment here. I go along with, I think it needs to go to a vote also to the people. I'm supportive of being able to get the data. My fear is in the 90 days, we will pass the chance to put it on the ballot. So then it won't be on the ballot for another 2 years. That concerns me.
What's the hurry?
Be on the ballot immediately this year. And I disagree with Ms. Moyer. She says that it's going to cause a confusion between our tax initiative that we've got going on and this. She may be right. I don't know. She's smarter than I am when it comes to data.
I agree with Ms. Moyer. I don't think it's a good idea. I think we'll anger.
You don't think it should go on the ballot?
I don't think it should go on the ballot this cycle for certain.
All right.
Okay,
Mr. McClung?
Because of the same reason she stated.
Mr. McClung?
Yeah, if it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. They still have, you know, not on a full-time basis, but we still have the temporary in place. And so they, you know, those applications, you know, historically have always been approved with no problem. So, you know, it's not like they're, you know, going to be without. It's just, it's going to be business as usual until the next election cycle. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to make it happen any quicker.
All right. Ms. Gurney?
So I agree with Ms. Moyer on not putting it on the ballot, simply because if this doesn't succeed, we have nothing to worry about anyway. And if it does succeed and everything is moving smoothly, and if they apply again for another 90 days, we can look at it again. But we're trying to think too much about in the future of what ifs instead of looking at what can we do today. And we don't know what's going to happen. And if it goes on the ballot and they vote for it, we still could have some disappointed citizens, and I'm sorry for that. We had papers handed out, I think, from Mr. Hollifield on, again, businesses that were pulled out of 66. I believe it was 54, was it, that said yes to the entertainment district? I think I put it away already. But nonetheless, I just feel like it will confuse, and if this thing doesn't fly, or if something happens in 30 days, we shut it down. I don't really see the scare factor in it. We have our police, and we have our, everybody has agreed to downsizing and the 16 ounces, which I think is a wonderful idea, to at least give it a shot.
We actually should be discussing that to the amendments instead of going in through here. I got sidetracked here. So is there any other comments on the amendments of changing it down to a smaller cup and the three amendments as discussed? If not, all in favor of those amendments, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none. All right. Now then, we're back to the original discussion of the resolution. Now, you know, this resolution is not susceptible to being brought up to a vote, except by the city council. In other words, a referendum, citizens cannot bring this up for a referendum on there.
Can you say that one more time, Mayor, please?
Referendums are not subject to, resolutions are not subject to referendums.
Of course, this ends before the election anyway, so
Yeah.
it's moot.
Well, the last one expired 2 days before the election, and it was still on the ballot. So, all right. Okay, so who made the motion to,
Terry.
no, for the, assign a number and read for
Terry.
Mr. McClung? Okay, and who seconded?
Terry.
I think Harry seconded.
No, he seconded the amendment.
I second it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Mr. McClung made a motion to assign this a resolution number and to read entirety.
Well,
And Ms. Gruning seconded. Any further discussion?
that's the way I did it. But
It's long.
Stick with it. Stick to your guns.
We can.
can you read that much?
We need to make the amendments. Not my decision, that's your decision, but we need to make the amendments, and I don't think they're in the resolution, I think they're in the application.
They're in the application.
Well, the first two are, I think there is a provision in here about reporting. I think the original resolution said that there would be a final report 60 days following the expiration, so we can amend that to 30. Section 8, Part B. But then the other ones, I think you just note on the application.
On the application.
That it's, yeah, it won't be accepted any other way.
Okay, so that I have it correctly noted on the application, we're putting that you're using a 16-ounce glass, right?
That's a typo on my part.
Would it be okay to have 60 days with the option to turn in early?
Beg your pardon?
Would it be okay to have 60 days for the report with the option to turn in early? I only ask because this is ending at the end of September and I'm often pretty busy at the end of October.
But again, the report is done by the mayor.
Okay, so
Or
it's
that
nothing
done
that
by
we need
you.
to provide. Okay.
Okay. So we're on the
And what was the,
motion for the amendment, right? All right. There being no further discussion on the amendments, all those, do we need to,
Yeah, I think you already voted. Did you not already vote? All those in favor of the amendments?
Amendment's been voted
Yes.
on, yes.
okay, now we're ready for the resolution, yes. And do you want to,
Like that, the motion for reading the resolution is with suspending the rules and reading it by title only,
okay. Do I have a second?
subject to the
Second.
amendments.
Yeah, okay, Ms. Grunin seconded. All right, Mr. McClung made a motion to assign this a number and read this resolution by, suspend the rules and read it by title only. Ms. Grunin seconded. Any final further discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
No.
Ms. Moyer?
I'm recusing myself.
Oh, thank you, beg your pardon. Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino?
No.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
No, 3-2.
3-3.
3-2.
I'm really uncomfortable with this, although I do understand it, and I think we need to have the data. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I know that if we get something from the police department that's showing some negative activity and negative things going, or from EMS or other city offices, that we can always bring it back and have this withdrawn. And because of that, I will go ahead and vote yes for it.
So that means I read it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is resolution number 912, a resolution creating a temporary entertainment, I think we need to interject district in there, known as the Downtown Social District Trial, establishing the dates, hours, boundaries, and operational rules of the district, declaring the district to be a 90-day pilot program and for other purposes.
All right. All right, that concludes that business then. All right, now we're on to agenda setting.
Thank you.
Probably late. City Council comments. Ms. Gruening, I'll start on your side.
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Mr. Almanzino.
I just want to thank everybody that either sent in emails, text messages, or got out and spoke today, either in support or against this. So thanks.
Mr. Holyfield.
I'd like to agree with David and thank everybody who's spoke up. I think it's real important to our community to speak their mind and tell us what they think, and our community's not too shy about doing that. So thank you very much.
Ms. Moyer.
I have my own personal opinions about the entertainment district, and I have not made them public. In fact, they're relevant. My position as a council member, I am tasked with representing the interests of the community, and I am here in 100% as a public servant. There's a divide in our community about what an entertainment district says about our community. And we, all of us, are tasked with bridging that divide. I will continue to serve in that manner, and I pledge to make decisions based on principle. I'm encouraged by the public comments shared tonight because civic engagement is a basis of a healthy democracy, which is more important now, given the national state of things. With that said, I encourage all of you to attend a civic roundtable tomorrow at 5:30. There's a civic roundtable sponsored by the Civic Minded Coalition of Carroll County, and we'll hold the civic roundtable. This is based on the idea that everybody's voice matters, even the ones that we don't want to hear. The event will welcome a presentation by Braver Angels, which is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to reducing political polarization. They host face-to-face conversations between those with different perspectives, often Democrats and Republicans, to have respectful dialogue about important issues affecting all of us, just like the conversations that we had this evening. In the process, this strengthens our democratic republic. The League of Women Voters of Washington County will also present. It will be held tomorrow at 5:30, the Carroll County Electric Community Room in Berryville, and attendees will have a chance to learn more about voting and elections in Carroll County, and I will be there as a moderator, and I hope that everyone will attend. Thank you.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, I'm going to attend that meeting too. I think it's a great idea for our county and our city. I'm very happy that we had a lot of people come on both sides. I wish we had more public participation at our regular meetings. I'd really like to have a lot of participation about people to come and ask questions and talk about our important 1-cent sales tax and the bond issues that in order to repair our water and sewer system, because if we're going to have tourists, we have to have water and sewer, and not to mention households here, and it's a very important thing that we need to get done. It's an old city, and with our steep hills and everything, there's little forgiveness in the water lines. They break all the time because of it and jostle around. So I hope that our ballot issues will pass. And thank you all. very much this evening.
Mr. McClung?
Yeah, this is, this entertainment district has been one of the hardest ones in all the years that I've been doing this to decide which way to go. What I think we're doing here is being fair-minded and giving the business community an opportunity to see if it's effective or not. It was voted down once before. I'm not sure how that all came about. I mean, we didn't have any information really to base it on. It was all pretty much really just the fear that you know, there was going to be beer and puke running down the streets, and that's the way the town was going to go. But you know, we're not that naive either, we're not that subject to fear. We're better than that, and we can see through that. And I think we have to give it a fair shake. And give it the opportunity to run the 90 days and see what happens. But I have no problems that if it doesn't meet what we feel is the level it needs to be, I have no problem with saying no, none. I think it's a great fact-finding opportunity for this. So, you know, we'll know one way or the other. Shortly. 30 days is not a long time. And I think it's very important that the constituents of the town of Eureka Springs, the voters, vote in favor of the 1 cent sales tax. Absolutely. We need it. It's critical. Truly is.
I have to agree, both with a lot of the comments from the City Council. Ms. Moyer and Mr. McClung both spoke eloquently in about this issue with, you know, special events in temporary entertainment district. It caused me a lot of thoughts over the last couple of weeks because I knew this was going to come up. It comes up and it reminds me of, you know, many of y'all weren't here, Mr. McClung was, but we used to have a couple of bars right on Spring Street, right on the hill on Spring Street, the Hi-Hat. And people would come out of it late at night, drunk, little overindulgence in drinking, and stagger down the sidewalks, stagger out in the streets. I don't remember too many people really getting hurt. I mean, I'm sure there was a few. But I think there's a lot of fear out there and a lot of excessive of what can happen. You know, and I've seen a lot of excessive drinking in my life, and been part of it. I haven't had to do that in quite a few years lately. But I think a lot of it is a lot of the fears in our heads of what can happen. And it seems like a lot of this has come up when we look at the petitions and the people who are signing up. We had the businesses, and it came up to be basically businesses versus the residents. And it bothers me because I know the residents out there are going to think the city council is pro-business. Well, and that's where we get our tax, a lot of our tax monies. And the residents do pay their taxes on their property tax and their sales tax. And they're the ones who tell us, and we're supposed to be answering to you all and not to the businesses. And I think what the council's done and what I tried to do tonight is let's see what happens with this data, because we really have no idea of what's going to happen. I heard what ifs, what if this, what's this, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But I don't know. I really don't. Certainly no more than 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And if it looks bad, and it is bad, I think the council will not approve this again. And if so, I think I'll go ahead and veto it at this point. I want to give this an opportunity because I've also heard from the residents, or I guess maybe not the residents, because it's the business owners who have said that they're hurting and they're needing business. And I hear people talk about vacant buildings and vacant people leaving town because of different reasons. Maybe this is going to give us a chance. I don't know. We'll find out. Again, it's going to give us some data. Eureka's been very blessed, and when we look at our sales tax numbers, we've been up a little bit. Not a lot, not like we were right after COVID, but we're still up, anywhere from 3 to 5%, which is a lot better than a lot of communities. But we don't have a big box. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have Targets and a lot of those big boxes that generate those sales taxes. So we're going to try to find some method of generate additional income for the city. I hope this works. We'll find out. Again, I don't think if we find out in 30 days we've had an excessive amount of violence or alcohol-related incidents, we can come back to the council and we can shut it down just as quick as we started it. So I hope that the residents will understand that. And I don't think that the council voted against the residents and for the businesses as much as trying to do what's best for the city. And that includes the residents and the businesses, because a lot of our residents own the businesses. And with that said, I'm going to go on with some mayor's comments. And one of the things this month is a proclamation that I'm real proud to do, and it's recognizing June as Pride Month in Eureka Springs. And I wrote a resolution for this, and it says, whereas the month of June is recognized across the United States as Pride Month, a time to honor the history, resilience, and contributions and ongoing pursuit of equity by lesbian, gay, bisexuals, transgenders, queer, and all LGBTQ+ individuals. And whereas Pride Month commemorates the courage of those who have worked to advance civil rights, dignity, safety, and equal protection under the law for LGBTQ+ people and their families. And whereas the city of Eureka Springs has long been known as a welcoming, creative, and diverse community that values individuality, compassion, hospitality, and respect for all people. And whereas LGBTQ+ residents, visitors, business owners, artists, public servants, families, and community members contribute meaningfully to the cultural, civic, economic, and social life of Eureka Springs. And whereas recognizing Pride Month affirms the city's commitment of fostering a community where every person is treated with dignity, where differences are respected, and where all people may live, work, visit, and participate fully without fear of discrimination or exclusion. And whereas the city of Eureka Springs encourages kindness, inclusion, understanding, and equal opportunity as shared civic values that strengthen our community for residents and visitors alike. Now, therefore, I, Robert Bush Berry, Mayor of the City of Eureka Springs, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2026 as Pride Month. So. I think that goes not only for the community, LGBTQ+ community, but it goes for all of our residents to live by these standards. And I think we did that tonight, and I appreciate y'all in coming up and making your comments and the letters that we've received. Now, further on, some of the good news is, summer's here, and we've got a lot of hot events in town. We've got Family Fun Concert Series presents Dominic Roy on Thursday, June 25th from 5 to 7 in Basin Spring. The series presents Carolina Mendoza on Friday, the 26th from 5 to 7. And then the concert goes on the front porch on Saturday, June 27th from 5 to 7. And then the next weekend, Family Fun Concert presents Rachel Field and the Blues Therapy, Thursday, July the 2nd. And then on Friday, we have the Sillamore Special from 5 to 7. If you've never heard the Sylamore Special, they're a group of kids from Sylamore, Arkansas, which is down by Mountain View, that are just incredible. I'm always looking forward to them. And then the next one is the Arkansas Highland Brass Band on Saturday, July the 4th, from 5 to 7 p.m. And then after that, because that's Eureka Springs' birthday, although it's not technically their birthday, but it's the birthday that we celebrate, we turn 147 on July the 4th, and from 12 to 2 in the Basin Park, they'll have live music, cake, and family-friendly fun. And then that night, we'll have Jamboree Fireworks Extravaganza out at Lake Leatherwood City Ballparks from 5 to 9:30. And we will have transportation leaving from, I think, various places around town. We'll have some more advertisements coming up with that. On July the 2nd, we'll also have the Country Jesus from 5 to 7 p.m. And then in the auditorium here, we're going to have a salute to Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn with Twitty and Lynn on Thursday, July the 9th from 7:30 to 9. And then back into the Basin Park on July the 10th, we have March to August. And on Saturday, the 11th, we'll have the Wild Orchid from 4 to 6. Drumming in the Park will be Saturday, July the 11th. And then we'll have the Historic Cemetery Tour, which is still going on every Saturday from 11 to 12 noon. And we're still looking for volunteers also to help restore the wood floors in the basement on July 25th, 26th, and 27th. So if you're interested in knowing about how to repair floors, come on down. Main Street's providing all the materials, and we'll have 2 contractors, Trevor Holloway and Peter Graham, will be teaming up with the building inspector to show how to repair wooden floors without sanding. So if you've got time to come down, get a hold of the building inspector or Main Street. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
All right.
What you forgot about